Relaxation. We're back after it for another 4. We'll be here till 7 o'clock, or they boot us off the radio, whichever comes first. Thank you for being around with us 7 minutes after 3 o'clock. We appreciate you on this Thursday, July 30th edition. 30 days have September, April, June, and November. All the rest have 31 except for stupid February. Okay, so we've got another day to go in the month, and then off to August we are. We've a week before the primary election season comes to a close, and we figure out exactly who our candidates will be for the upcoming general election process in November, and that is going to be the subject of the monologue and the subject of the beginnings of the conversation as we begin the show today. After I get through the pleasantries. Hello and a good afternoon. Welcome. Hope everybody's good. Woke up this morning, got outside, and it was nice, and it felt crisp and cool. Almost cool, I say, because of the lowered humidity. And I didn't need anyone to tell me what the heat index was to know that the humidity was lower because it felt cooler. How about that? I'm a grown person that can figure these things out for myself. Let's find the players of the show that will be speaking from time to time. There's Jackson Williams. I can't see him back there because of the glare, but I know he's there. He is making sure that everything that comes out of our speaker sounds as good as humanly possible. He screens your telephone calls and generally keeps me in line. He's also running for governor. We had a big Jackson for governor meeting last night. Very exciting. Very excited that we were able to hold this meeting. We game planned some campaign strategies as we prepared for the general election. We will launch after the primaries are done. And I could not be more excited about some of the campaign strategies that we came up with last night. One of my favorites is this. Jackson, you remember this one? I'm Jackson Williams. Why can't we smoke weed? That's a good one. Jackson, throw that one down. See how that sounds to Ken Weaver's ear. Imagine Jackson Williams on camera, and he's looking directly at you, into your souls, and he says,
"On the advice of counsel, I'm going to respectfully decline to comment based upon my Fifth Amendment rights given to me by the United States Constitution."
You know, that's old news. We need some new spirit in today's show. That's yesterday's show. That was a very popular segment that you did, though, yesterday, Jackson. I fear it was popular because you were speaking less, though. I mean, if you think about it.
Honestly, I said it enough times, I probably spoke more.
You memorized it. I saw you. You had it down pat by the end of the show. Now, behind Jackson Williams, behind the glass in News Closet B, Ken Weaver resides. He gathers headlines, delivers them twice an hour, and when it breaks. And he also thrills us with his presence on the Matt Murphy Show. Hello, Ken.
How about you, boys?
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Oh, yeah, I can barely hear you in there. Jackson, make sure his microphone's nice and tight.
How about you, boys?
Oh, that sounds great right there.
My mic was down a little bit.
Oh, no, I like you to fill my eardrums with the mellifluous tones of Weaver.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Ken, speaking of that, how much is it costing folks to go over to the Talk TV side and like and subscribe?
Absolutely nothing, boys. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Although you could make a campaign contribution.
Jackson Williams is willing to accept campaign contributions. Where do we send those contributions to, Jackson? Care of Matt Murphy? Yeah, that's fair to me. I'll do that. Matt Murphy, treasurer. Thank you. You know, there's always, all these people have a treasurer for some reason.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Marsha Blackburn for governor. Glen Jacobs, treasurer. Speaking of Glen Jacobs, guess who's stopping by the show today, everybody?
Glen Jacobs.
Glen Jacobs. Via phone, but, it's in the spirit of the thing. About 4:35 this afternoon, we'll speak with Knox County Mayor Glen Jacobs regarding flock cameras, get his take on those things, find out where he believes the gubernatorial race is a week before the primary is to go. Scott Sapicki will be by before then at 3:35 this afternoon, a little early on this Thursday. We'll speak to Sapicki about the election. We'll speak to Sapicki about education. We'll speak to Sapicki about flock cameras. We'll speak to Sapicki about any number of other things. He's a good friend of the show. And maybe we'll talk. Did you see where this stupid Austin Lee fella has another flyer out? Calling Sapicki out. So I think we should call this dude on the radio and try to get him on air with us. What do you think? No? You don't want to participate? Jackson, are you going to participate in the show ever again, or are you just going to sit over there like a bump on a pickle like I'm not talking to you?
A bump on a pickle.
Yeah.
Jackson, are you okay? Is everything all right? Do we need a little?
I'm lovely. We've just heard from that fella.
Well, I understand that, but I mean, we need to call out crazy where crazy is, and I mean, he's running around Murray County acting like he's the head of the Young Republican Party, and there is no Young Republican Party in Murray County, and I don't like it a bit. I mean, Jackson just doesn't want to do extra labor. That's my theory. I think that's fair. One way or the other, we'll have Sapicki on at 3:35. It's getting down to it. Obviously, the election is here. It's upon us. By the way, before I get away from it, Ken.
Yes, sir.
As I was traveling in, I was noting that there are a number of trials and travails in and around Metro Nashville with regard to the roads.
Lord have mercy.
What is going on over there? Talk to us.
Well, dude, this morning you had 3 semis pile up there, 24 westbound at Whites Creek. One of them overturned, one of the drivers killed. That is still under investigation. 24 westbound is closed between Old Hickory Boulevard and Whites Creek Pike, and looks like it's going to be for at least another 45 minutes. Mm-hmm. Then on 65 northbound, there at Trinity Lane, apparently there had been a truck sitting there on the side of the road for a while. So Metro Police did a welfare check, found a fella dead inside it.
What?
So that tied people up. It looks like 65 northbound there through the construction at Goodlettsville is getting it's getting better than it was, if you can imagine that. Because earlier there was a stalled vehicle there at Goodlettsville blocking the left lane. That thing was backed up almost all the way to Briley Parkway.
Man, oh man.
Now it's just kind of looking its normal angry red. Whereas westbound 24 is pitch black. Because, I mean, it is down to a crawl, and it has been since this morning at 10 o'clock whenever that crash happened.
I mean, so we're essentially, there's no traffic flowing on 24.
No, sir.
Man, that's that's probably why 65 was so quagged up when I was on the way to work today.
Yeah, it affects everything.
Yeah,
especially
that's bad.
The closer you get to downtown.
No question. I mean, you know what I like to say about traffic in Nashville, Tennessee, Ken?
What's that?
Everything's fine till it's not.
That's one of the best quotes I've ever heard.
And when
because
it's not,
it is so true.
Everything's fine, and then it's not. And when it's not, man,
it's not.
It's not anywhere. I mean, it's just a cascade effect. And,
yes, sir.
And I suppose that could be said for every major municipality around, but my goodness gracious.
Well, I mean, the thing that's happening now with this westbound 24 is, you know, they're diverting everybody. They're onto Old Hickory Boulevard. Well, I mean, it's like a parking lot all the way over to Whites Creek.
Mm. Yeah, so y'all just pack. What do they say? I hate this phrase. God, I
know.
can't.
I know, but it's fun to say. Pack your patience.
Y'all pack your patience.
Yeah,
and maybe some vodka. No, don't drink and drive. That's bad.
Yeah, because what's happening? What's so. Man, I mean, it's like when you get to Whites Creek, you think, okay, I can get on up to Jolton now. Nope.
Yeah. No, you can't.
No, you can't because that's where everybody is. And then people are trying to take Clarksville Highway. And it's like a parking lot.
I'm just looking at my phone right now, and things are it is a multicolored little show on the map.
Yes,
although
sir.
I'm seeing deep. Well, I mean, I guess it is deep red.
Oh, it's deep. It's blood red.
Blood red down there on 24. 24 is normally
24
a hassle.
Yeah, that's just 24 down to Murfreesboro.
Yeah, it's just toast. But yeah, I'm seeing the little dots.
Yeah, that means
north.
It's closed.
Yeah,
24 westbound up there to Jolton.
Yeah, that's bad. So y'all be careful. It'll be there when you get there. I promise you that, friends. It'll be there when you get there. Unless it's ice cream, and it might be. I mean, it might have perished by then.
Yeah.
615-737-9986 if you'd like to be a part of the show. 615-737-9986. So we're down to it. There a week to go. What is your favorite political race that is going on right now? What race do you believe is closer than any other? I have two selections that I believe are as close as can be and are frankly too close to call. Now, one might be a bit of a surprise to you. One is in Congressional District number 6, where I'm told reliably, and y'all know me in polls, right? I don't polls and I don't get along very much. But when you get this close to an election cycle, I think they can be somewhat informative, but you have to be careful about who's doing the poll and how they're doing the poll and what type of questions they're asking. I mean, really, the ultimate poll is obviously on election night. But everything that we are seeing and all of the political analysts that I trust that are talking about these things suggest that the Johnny Garrett Van Hillary race, and John Henry's in on that too, so it's a three-way race. Johnny Garrett, Van Hillary, and John Henry, that it is coming down to the wire, and it is as nip and tuck as any race in the state of Tennessee. I'm also told that the Charlie Hatcher-Andy Ogles race is a hell of a lot closer than Andy Ogles would want it to be. I'm already hearing anecdotally that Charlie's doing really, really well in some of those areas where Andy Ogles was relatively unknown to the people of those areas, but Hatcher was known in his capacity as Commissioner of Agriculture before he decided to throw his hat into the ring in the 5th Congressional District. So that's an incredibly close race. I don't know that the gubernatorial race is particularly close in as much as I think Marcia has about, from everything that I'm extrapolating, she has a healthy lead. If you made me guess on that race a week out, I would tell you that you're probably looking at 50, 35, 15. That's not necessarily where I would want it to be. That's just me putting my political analyst hat on and offering you my thoughts on it. 50, 35, 15 is where I would basically put it at. We'll find out next week. Now, speaking of next week, obviously you are invited to be a part of our big gathering next week. Hop Springs, Murfreesboro, God's country down in Murfreesboro. We'd love to see you. Hop Springs is the location. It's a big room, and we have plenty of room for you and the family. Come on down and see us. There will be food trucks. There will be fun and frivolity. I will be doing my show starting at 3 o'clock, so you're invited to come on out. It's my understanding that you might have an appearance from Scott Sapicki and some other political figures.
Well, won't that be something?
That's what I've been told. And I think I have a pretty good angle on whether or not Sapicki's going to be there because it was Scott Sapicki that told me that.
Well, that's pretty good angle.
That's pretty good. So Ken Weaver will be doing news on site. You can watch the news happen in real time right before your very eyes.
Oh, it's very active, too.
With Ken Weaver. He brings the newsroom with him, friends. He brings News Closet B on location to Hop Springs next Thursday. So we'll start the show at 3 o'clock. The rest of the crew, Dan Mandis, of course, Chris Hand, Chad Benson, will join in beginning around 6. And I don't know how late we're going that night, but we're going till, I don't know how late we're going that night, honestly. Ken, do you know?
I think until at least 10.
Oh, wow. My goodness
or at
gracious.
least until the the results are in. They may be before 10.
Jackson had his hand up right before you said at least until 10. Yes, Jackson, you had something to contribute to the show today.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Brother Jackson will be there.
Well,
Yeah.
So that you haven't gotten the memo? That's tough. 615-737-9986 is our telephone number if you'd like to be a part of the show. Boyd, we'll get to you. Is that Hot Dog online too? All right. Well, you know what? I love the phone calls. I love all of you. Get on the line. Scott Sapicki coming up in about 10 minutes or so, about 3:35 this afternoon. And Glen Jacobs at 4:35 this afternoon. You on the phones all day long. What races are you watching most closely and who you got in some of these tight races? 615-737-9986. It's Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hello, friends. Matt Murphy. Want to talk to you for a moment about Grace Point Healthcare, modern medicine delivered the old-fashioned way. That's what we like to say about it. Grace Point Healthcare is your one-stop shop for all things medical, for all things health. You need to go to Grace Point Healthcare. A couple of reasons why. Number one, they get to the bottom of the issue, whatever issue it might be. They do so by with a comprehensive approach, and they don't allow insurance companies to tell them how to do their business. They don't believe in it. So you know that. Number two, the Smart Care Plan. Simple. $99 a month for the grown-up, $79 a month for the kids, and they cover all of your office visits throughout the course of the year, plus free basic labs and diagnostics. That's the way that it ought to be, and you can use your HSA to pay for the Smart Care Plan. Number three, they help everyone from newborns to seniors, and they do it in a natural way, a comprehensive medical approach, getting to the root of the problem. They're conveniently located in Franklin. They don't make you wait long, lengthy times to get into the office, and they certainly don't make you wait once you get there. 599-6868, 599-6868. It's modern medicine delivered the old-fashioned way. Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy, and if you're suffering from dry, irritated eyes, you do not have to suffer in silence, and there are things that you can do to help alleviate that suffering. Dr. Catherine Beckman is the recommended choice. It's as simple as this. Dr. Beckman's clinic, which has just opened up in Cool Springs, solely focuses on patients with dry eyes. It's called ocular surface disease. She sees patients every day that have damaged the front of their eyes due to blinking functions that are improper or damage the glands that produce tears. One way or the other, if you're frustrated with your dry, irritated eyes and you don't know what to do, if you think, well, this is just something I'm going to have to live with for the rest of my life, do not be deceived. There is relief available for you. If you suffer from dry eyes and nothing is working, get to the root of the problem. Schedule online an appointment with Dr. Catherine today at BeckmanDryEyeInstitute.com. That's BeckmanDryEyeInstitute.com, or call them at 629-239-3161. 629-239-3161. This is what she does. She is an expert in the field. She's been doing it for over 30 years, and she can help you. She's helped thousands, and you can be the next in line for help with the Beckman Dry Eye Institute.
In Georgia, the father who gave his son a gun, who used it on teachers and students, learns his fate. That story and more coming up at 3:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. It is the Matt Murphy Show. Right after the bottom of the hour news, we'll welcome Scott Sapicki into the show. A little bit early, normally his visits on these Thursdays where he stops by comes up at 4 o'clock. I thank Scott for adjusting the time just a little bit. We got Glen Jacobs coming up at 4:35. He's going to talk to us about his pushback on flock cameras in Knox County and what that means for the rest of the state of Tennessee. Might talk to Sapicki about that a little bit as well. Right now, you on the phones, it's Boyd's turn. Boyd, good afternoon. Welcome.
How are you doing, my brother?
I'm doing well, Boyd. How are you? How's that ant problem, buddy?
Well, I found out that they come in series, so in the morning I wake up, I have to kill about 3 dozen of them, and then in the afternoon they come looking for something to eat. So I kill about 3 dozen more of them, But the good thing is that I was so depressed, I got laid off my job that I just had. But they called me today and told me that they made a mistake, and I was one of the best workers they've ever had. So they want me to come back to work for them.
Well, look at there. That's great news, Boyd. I know that makes you feel good.
Yeah, I told you, I text you that I didn't want to depend on anybody to help me out. I was going to depend on, I don't know if I can say this or not. I want to depend on Jesus because he's my Savior, he's my Lord, he's my Savior, and look at what he done for me. I mean, he totally come through for me, and they apologized to me. They said it was a mistake. They said that we want you back.
Wow, that's just awesome news, Boyd. That's answered prayers right there. I know after your call the other day, a lot of folks were praying for you, and that just shows you the power of prayer. Yeah.
God, Jesus. Like I say, I don't know if I can say it online because, I know you have other people that probably don't believe in this, but Jesus, he's helped me out so much. He's always been in my corner, and when I told you on your personal cell phone that you gave me, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
I told you that I didn't want to depend on another person. I had to go ahead and depend on Jesus because he's helped me out so much in the past that, I had to depend on him, and look what he's done for me, brother.
All right, man. That's great news, Boyd. I love hearing it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I love it too, brother.
Now, if we can just deal with that ant problem.
Yeah, well, I'll do it.
I'm just bad. I know you will.
I know you will. They try to eat me every night, every morning, but you know what? I'm a pretty good fighter.
Yeah, well.
But anyway,
keep up with me and let me know how that gig goes. Yeah. But that's good news. That's great news.
You're an inspiration to so many people. You have no idea how many people that you're an inspiration to, brother. You won't ever know how many people that you influence their life, and I thank you for that. I really do. I've been listening to this station for about 15 years now, and let me tell you what, I loved, I couldn't call him Uncle Phil because I was almost his age, but he didn't make it through COVID. I did make it through COVID, but God bless him, and I miss Johnny B. I really miss Johnny B, and dancing on the pole, that was something I look forward to every day. And I tell you what, since you replaced him, you inspire tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people, and I thank you for that, brother.
Boyd, thank you. Call us back anytime, and that's great news about the job. I love hearing that. I absolutely love it. And if you missed a Johnny B on the show last Friday, check him out on the podcast because we had a fabulous time last week with Johnny B on with us, talking about dancing in the booth and some other things. It's 32 past the hour. Scott Sapicki on the way next on Super Talk.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. That fatal crash investigation still has 24 westbound shut down at Whites Creek. Authorities said 3 semis collided just before 10:10 this morning, leaving one driver dead. All the westbound lanes are closed. Traffic being forced off the interstate at exit 40. Delays stretch for miles as investigators continue to examine the scene there. And police are investigating after a person was found dead inside a truck on the side of I-65 this morning. That discovery was made when officers responded to a welfare check call on Trinity Lane. Investigators say the vehicle was parked along the northbound shoulder when the body was located. Traffic impacts included the closure of the northbound entrance ramp and part of the shoulder there. In Georgia, Colin Gray, the father who gave his son Colt the gun that was used in a deadly shooting in 2024 at Appalachia High School, was sentenced to 15 years in prison. Here's Judge Nicholas Prim before he handed down the sentence.
You were convicted because the warning lights were flashing brighter and brighter, and you didn't get him help, and you didn't remove his access to the guns.
2 teachers and 2 students were killed in that shooting. Iran war, the strikes have sent the price of oil back up. President Trump says the U.S. may keep retaliating if Iran keeps striking. Retired Colonel Seth Crumrich telling ABC News the war has widened to more countries and proxy groups in the region, the most since World War II.
When you just look at the last, say, 72 hours and you see Saudi Arabia directly attacking Iran and the PMF forces in Iraq, when you see what's coming out now that perhaps Hezbollah was behind the drone strikes in Egypt, when we see earlier this month with Bahrain and Kuwait also participating in an attack, so they weren't announced overtly, I think we are.
Economic growth losing momentum in the second quarter as the nation's gross domestic product rose just 1.5%. Economists point to higher oil and gasoline prices. Consumer spending, however, remained resilient despite the added costs. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Yeah, 24 westbound still shut down between exits at 40 and 35 there in Whites Creek for that fatal semi crash investigation. Got a crash left lane block, 440 westbound as you're approaching 40. And then in Madison, a crash, 65 northbound past Old Hickory Boulevard. I'm Ken Weaver.
Hi, friends. It's Matt Murphy for King and Associates Insurance. Folks, I've told my story more times than I can count, but I love telling it because it's such a wonderful outcome and such a wonderful testimony to what King and Associates can do for you. So I bought the new house, knew I needed homeowners insurance, called Emery over at King and Associates, said, Emery, hook me up. He said, oh, I'm going to get to it. And he put me together a good plan. He said, Murphy, let me bundle this with your auto and I'll save you money. I said, well, Emery, I got pretty good auto insurance, and I got a pretty good rate on it. I don't think you can do it. And I told him that. And he goes, give me a shot at it. Well, I did, and he gave me the same great rates, the same deductible, the same coverage, and I saved almost $400 a year on my wife and I's car. Thanks to Emery and King and Associates Insurance. That's what happens when they're able to shop around. That's what happens when they don't make it, about, pushing you into a program, this or that or the other thing, or pushing you toward one insurance company. Just honest advice Personalized service and policies that make sense. Local and independent, that matters. King and Associates Insurance. Go to kinginsurance.com, tkinginsurance.com, or 329-8121, 329-8121 for King and Associates Insurance. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Thank you for being with us. Whatever time you're able to give, we are appreciative. My name is Matt Murphy. We're here till 7 o'clock tonight. And y'all, I thank you so much. I mean, Boyd was very kind in his language, and several of you on the Super Text line are, y'all are very, very sweet. And I appreciate each and every one of you. I absolutely cherish our opportunities here in the afternoons from 3 until 7. I know that I'm a hard case. I know that I yell a lot sometimes, but I feel like I do yell on the radio, but they always deserve it when I do. I rarely yell at our next guest. I mean, it used to happen with a little more regularity, but then he finally saw it my way. His name is Representative Scott.
Definition of ego.
Scott Sapicki, and he joins us on these Thursdays. You'll be out next week.
I will, yes.
I love that.
It's election day.
Come on, let's go.
It's after, 2.5 weeks of early voting?
Yeah.
Which we're probably going to look to fix next time out. It's too long. Too much stuff happens for someone who votes early, like the first day.
See, for me, and you bring up the excellent point, for me, I want to make sure that I have every piece of information that I possibly can before I'm asked to vote.
Before you cast your vote. You want to know where you are.
Right.
With no new surprises.
Right. And I feel like if I vote a couple of weeks early, what could happen between then and now? And it's too late.
Right.
I got nothing to do about it.
Well, what if the person that you voted for backed out of the race?
And then
you just wasted your vote, right?
Yeah.
So I think we're going to look at that next year in a General Assembly in the 115th about possibly shrinking early voting to 4 days, the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday before the election, right? 8 to 8. And because it's shortened, you can have multiple early voting spots.
I like that. I like that.
So we'll see what the General Assembly thinks.
Pushing it in the right direction. I dig that.
We'll see.
You're a Marcia guy.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
you are. Tell me why. What was your process? And just what led you to feeling like she was the best prepared?
To me, and I'm in education now, so I'm a little biased here.
Yeah.
But I need somebody in education that understands what we've done in the General Assembly, and I've talked about it now for years, about where we were and where we are right now and where we want to go. I've talked to all three of the candidates. I believe that Senator Blackburn affords us the opportunity to continue to move forward in education to where we want to be. I also want to work with a governor that has been in my seat, right? That understands how the General Assembly works, that understands that relationship between the governor's office and the General Assembly. And I want to work with somebody that has fought battles like I have in the General Assembly to pass bills.
Sure.
And understands what kind of work and collaboration that means. And I just think moving forward where we are in education and in Tennessee, I believe Senator Blackburn gives us the best opportunity for success.
Maybe I'm a little bit, and you might look at this very differently. Mm-hmm. Maybe I'm a little bit defensive of my peeps. Mm-hmm. And I want to know on the super text line if anyone else who's a regular listener of the Matt Murphy Show, if anyone else who regularly listens to Scott Sapicki on these Thursdays had the same feeling. I'm not saying that she's not picking up on a good idea, and I like that she's picking up on this idea. Mm-hmm. But when I hear Marcia say, my plan is bell to bell, no cell, and I'm like, we've kind of been, that's great. That's wonderful. We want the next governor's support in this. But I feel like there's been some heavy lifting that's been going on for a period of time to get us where we are today.
Well, sometimes people have to do the heavy lifting to get it in a position to push it across the finish line, right? And there's been a lot of work in the General Assembly on education over the last 8 years since I've been there. We have taken ourselves from 47th to about 17th or 18th in the country. But I'm telling you right now, and I'll be happy to talk to you about it, is if we want to be the best, we're going to have to make some very tough, focused decisions next year. And we're going to need a governor that wants to be the best. And I believe Marcia Blackburn, in her heart, wants to lead the nation in education.
No, that's asked and answered. I think I get a little defensive of you because I know how much work that you and others in the General Assembly have already put into this issue. And I understand it's campaign season, don't get me wrong, and you only have 30 seconds to talk to the people about what you're planning on doing. I'm glad she's picked up on it because I think it is important. I think if we want to take the next step to protect the kids and to help them learn, you know what? If I'm understanding where the law is now, the local school districts already have the opportunity to do it. They can already go bell to bell if they choose.
Yeah, but by law, they have to be during instruction time by law. We give them the ability to expand on that. There are districts that have expanded. Warren County is one of them that has gone bell to bell, and they are having tremendous results. Discipline issues are down. Bullying in school is down. The social media problems that those create are down. Kids are paying attention more in the classroom. They're talking to each other. They're personalizing, right? When people call in, Matt, they can be mean to you over the phone because it's easy, right? Mm-hmm. It's hard to do it in person. Now, you try to do it to me all the time, and you just can't accomplish that task because I'm such a nice guy. But over the phone, you could be mean to me like you are sometimes.
That's why you come in.
There you go.
Because I'm so much nicer. So I'll be mean to Glen Jacobs.
But to answer your question is, I'm a pragmatist. I know what we want to do in education, and I need someone in the governor's office that understands that battle and is willing to fight it with me, and she is.
I believe that, I think I'm right in this. I read a story where the Metro Nashville public school system just turned down 4 charter applications.
Unfortunately.
Is that right?
Unfortunately, yes.
But there is another crack at that.
They can appeal to the Charter Commission. Uh-huh. And if they make a good case and they have all their ducks in a row, the Charter Commission can approve them. And then those charter schools choose who they want their authorizer to be. They can go back to Metro Nashville, or they can choose the Charter Commission and go on with life. Some of our best performing academic buildings in Metro Nashville are charter schools.
Why would it be that? Why would the Metro Nashville public school system do this?
Control. They want control.
They don't like the idea of the charters having a little more flexibility.
And showing them up. The
Metro Nashville public school system were it not for the Shelby County school system,
Yes.
it would be it's one of the worst performers, is it not?
1A and 1B.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, it'd be 147A and 147B.
What is next? What is next for Memphis?
So, we're in a lawsuit right now. They are suing us because they don't want our help. They had to go borrow. I'm not kidding. I'm not making this up, folks. They had to go borrow $125 million because they don't have the money to make payroll. And in that $125 million is money to pay a law firm to sue the state of Tennessee in regards to us intervening in their school system.
It is as if you're making it up.
Right.
But you're not. And I'm looking at the story now, and I'm just reading an article from the Tennessee Star. I think a number of publications have said something about this, and I believe it was Speaker Cameron Sexton that made comment on it, that the Shelby County government is borrowing, as you just said, $125 million in an attempt to make payroll for its 4,600 employees. This is the second time in 7 months the county's taken out a loan to cover operating expenses. It is sadly not just the school systems in Shelby County. It's the entire county.
And I think that's one of the things that we need to consider is if this course continues on this present track, that maybe we need to intervene also in the government down there too. And we have the right to do that because all of the county governments are subsets of the state government, right? And so we give them their authority, we give them their ability to exist. And I think we're going to need to really consider on, can they get their, first of all, in the county, get their economics and their balance sheets in order so that we can affect the changes we need in education, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if they don't have the money to make their payroll, how are we going to make the changes we need in education?
And in the meantime, the state has come in with, I think, a fair proposal. Mm-hmm. We've given Memphis year after year after year within the school system to get it right.
Decades.
We've threatened. You've done everything other than what is happening now, and now the quote unquote takeover is not really a takeover so much. It's you need different people in leadership to make better decisions about how you educate your kids, and we're going to force you to do that. If you won't do it yourself, we're going to do it.
That is correct, and that's what we've done. And I'll tell you this right now. I mean, I've talked about Nashville. I think we need to do a forensic audit on Nashville like we did in Memphis, and let's track this money. Let's see where Dr. Battle is going and what kind of money she's spending on her trips. Why are you going out of the state to do these professional development for your staff? You mean to tell me you couldn't go to Memphis, you couldn't go to Sevierville, you couldn't go somewhere in Tennessee and spend taxpayer money in Tennessee? Right. What are you doing?
One of the reasons that I think, I believe Brent Taylor will be the Republican nominee after the primary is held. I think he has a fairly commanding lead in that race. And one of the reasons that I'm excited to get to know Brent a little more, I met him, I've had him on the show on a number of occasions, but I met him for the first time last Sunday. Mm-hmm. And I told him, I was like, I'm excited to talk to you, not just about, crime in Memphis, not just about your effort to make Memphis matter, but I think you can teach Nashville a thing or two, and maybe the lawmakers in and around Nashville a thing or two about best practices with the school system in Nashville. And I understand that the 9th doesn't quite get to Nashville, but you understand, he's seen it with his own eyes over there, and perhaps he's got a different viewpoint on it that can lead us in the right direction here. Because, I don't think we're far away from the state having to make a decision to take over Nashville, or at least to get a better plan in place for Nashville.
Right, and I think those are some of the bills that myself and others have passed, bringing more accountability to these districts on their failing parts of their district. That, hey, if we're going to pump all $13 billion into education, right, we have to have a return on our investment. And a return on investment is a student that can read, write, and do math on grade level throughout their 12 years of school, right? And so that when they get to graduate, they can choose what they want to do, be it military service, be it technical fields, be it a 2-year or a 4-year degree, to give them the opportunity to succeed, to join us in the grand experiment of opportunity in our country.
Where do you think we are on the Education Freedom Scholarship?
We have data coming soon.
Yeah,
it'll be very, very good on the success of the students.
It's my understanding that there's a problem, and I don't know if I call it a problem, but that we've noticed that private schools that give financial aid to students have begun the practice already of if there are individuals that are going into those private schools that receive financial aid, if they get a voucher or whatever you want to call it, scholarship, then the school pulls the financial aid from them.
Not true.
It is 100% true, Sapicki. Don't tell me it's not true. It's happening at Lipscomb right now. Cameron Smith can tell you all about it.
I'm not aware of it. Nobody.
It's 100% true. Don't tell me something's not true that is true.
Let me rephrase. I am not aware of that happening anywhere.
It's happening all over the state.
I'm not aware of it. I got private schools in Murray County. Nobody's complaining to me about it.
I would hope that you. I'm making you aware of it.
I will look into it.
Would you consider that to be an issue if that's the case?
Yeah, I do. I would. That you're going to withhold that scholarship because it's supposed to be needs-based, right? So even though you get the scholarship in your application for needs-based help, it's still based off of your family's income. So if they're doing that, they're going above and beyond what the needs-based allowance is.
I'm just saying, in a system, and I'm not necessarily against it. I want to slow roll. You know me. I was in favor of it. I want to slow roll it. But one of the reasons that I want to slow roll is because things like this come up, unforeseen issues. They shouldn't be, they shouldn't be deal breakers.
Right.
But I've been made aware that this is happening in a number of systems. And I don't want to name names, and I didn't mean to name names. I do know that it's happening where the private school moves the money from the eligible student to another eligible student if eligible student A gets a scholarship. And maybe they would argue that they're trying to move the money around or
make it stretch.
For everybody.
I'll tell you this: if it's happening to you out there, please contact my office, and we will definitely look into it with the commissioner.
I want to talk to you about a few other things in Murray County. I'm curious your thoughts about data centers. I think you just had went. Did you go to a symposium?
I went to a meeting up in Washington with the speaker and other legislators.
That's a symposium, if I ever heard of one.
Yeah.
We'll talk about your symposium coming up in just a moment. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey friends, Matt Murphy for USS, United Structural Systems. Folks, it's pretty simple. The foundation of your home matters. The waterproofing in your home matters. And if you've got waterproofing issues, foundation issues, if you got cracks, if you got the telltale signs, if you got a moldy or musty smell in your basement or your crawl space, you need to do something about that. And what you do is called USS. USSTN.com is the website, USSTN.com. They've been around for over 30 years. They have over 30,000 satisfied customers. They understand Middle Tennessee better than any other company that I could talk to you about. And friends, they are highly recommended by me and many, many others. As a matter of fact, they have over 30,000 referrals right there on the website, USSTN.com. Go and see them. Call for that free assessment today. It costs you nothing, no pressure. They'll just let you know where you're at. They did it for my home. They can do it for yours. USSTN.com. Hello, folks. Matt Murphy for the Wellness Institute of Nashville. Dr. Mitch, Dr. Ashley, and the rest of the team, they are invested in one thing and one thing alone, and they have been for a long, long time. Now, you've heard Dr. Kevin on the show. You've heard Dr. Ashley talking to you, and I'm here to tell you, they want to alleviate your pain, no matter where it hurts, as quickly as possible, as naturally as possible. That's it. That's their mission statement at the Wellness Institute of Nashville, and they'll use every bit of technology available to them in order to accomplish this without surgery, injections, painkillers, and no downtime. The spinal decompression works. The Medical Bay 1, the brand new technology developed by Dr. Mitchell, works. Obviously, the hydrowave therapy that they have in-house, it works as well. And I encourage you, if you hurt and you think you have to live with it, you do not. Go to painisbad.com. That's painisbad.com, or call 615-246-5009, 246-5009 for the Wellness Institute of Nashville.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. And as you heard Brother Jay Harper mention, their westbound 24 is closed at Whites Creek. That's for that fatal crash investigation. It was a crash involving 3 semis, and one of the drivers died this morning. Metro Police confirming that. Motorists being diverted off at exit 40, creating significant congestion across the area. Officials say the closure is expected to be cleared up any moment now, but right now it's an 82-minute delay. Authorities responded to I-65 North this morning after concerns were raised about a person inside a parked truck. Metro Police got there about 10 o'clock and found the person inside dead. That truck located near Trinity Lane. No information about the person's identity or cause of death has been released. In Georgia, the father of a teenager who carried out a deadly mass shooting at his high school was sentenced to 15 years in prison for providing the rifle his son used in the 2024 Appalachia mass shooting. ABC's Peter Haralambous has more.
The sentence is far less than the 80 years requested by prosecutors. Judge Nicholas Prim acknowledged that Colin Gray was negligent in providing the rifle to his son Colt, but that he wasn't aware his son was going to use the weapon to kill 2 students and 2 teachers.
I still have to distinguish your acts from the malignant part in the acts that Colt Gray committed upon the Appalachian School.
Earlier this week, his son Colt was sentenced to life in prison without parole for carrying out the mass shooting. Peter Haralambous, ABC News.
Iran war. ABC's Karen Travers says President Trump's been hinting at larger strikes recently.
The big question now is whether the president escalates these strikes and goes to that option he was said to be considering last week of something bigger, something more like the early days of the war in late February and early March. The president ultimately decided not to do that because they wanted to see if there was a chance for diplomacy to take hold and actually move forward, and also concerns about the depleted munitions stockpiles.
Commerce Department reporting the U.S. economy grew at a slower pace during the second quarter. Gross domestic product increased at an annual rate of 1.5%, falling short of expectations. Strong consumer spending and continued investment in artificial intelligence helped offset some of the impact from higher energy prices. Economists say the latest inflation data could allow the Fed to stay patient on future rate decisions. An amazing story of survival. A man impaled while on a hiking trip gets to safety on his own. ABC's Sherry Preston has more.
As he was hiking Montana's highest peak earlier this month, David Cifaldi slipped and fell, noticing, in his words, something wasn't right.
Realized I had this trekking pole stuck in my side.
The pole had gone below his left arm, through his body, and was sticking out of his back. Cifaldi, who's a nurse, spotted little blood and only light pain, so he assumed he hadn't hit any major organs. After talking it over with his fellow hikers and realizing a rescue flight would be very expensive, he decided to walk 10 miles back down the mountain to the car.
It was definitely a nuisance.
His friend Jess Ross calls it amazing.
He never complained.
Cifaldi said it hurt for a few days, but he's fine now. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
That's the latest news, traffic, and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. All right, so westbound 24 is still shut down there in Whites Creek for that fatal crash investigation involving 3 semis, one of the drivers dying. Over on the west end, we've picked up a crash, left lane blocked, 440 westbound as you're approaching 40 west. In Madison, a crash, 65 northbound past Old Hickory Boulevard. Over here in Antioch, got a crash reported 24 westbound past Hickory Hollow. And in Smyrna, 24 westbound before Sam Ridley Parkway. And in Madison, a crash on Old Hickory Boulevard just east of 65. I'm Ken Weaver.
Hello, friends. Matt Murphy, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. We continue a conversation into hour number 2 with our good friend, Representative Scott Sapicki. It is 4:08. I realized I did not get into any of the pleasantries at the beginning of the show. I got sidetracked because Jackson wouldn't participate in the broadcast. Jackson, are you still not participating? Jackson, would you say hello to Representative Scott Sapicki, please?
I said hello to Scott the second he got in.
Oh, did you? Okay. I was just wondering if you were still maintaining your insistence to utilize your Fifth Amendment privilege per the Constitution of the United States of America. I didn't know if that was ongoing throughout the course of the day today.
No?
Good.
I'm good.
Okay, you're good.
All right. Matt, I don't think it's Jackson. Maybe it's someone else. Because he was nice to me.
Oh, was he?
Yeah. And he was nice to Ken.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Oh, so you're saying it's me?
It could be a Tennessee-Georgia thing.
Well, I mean, people are mad at me for yelling at you, so it's okay. It's okay.
Dude, trust me. I've been yelled at worse in the General Assembly, and you're going to yell at me.
It's episode 1086 of our gathering together, and we're on a variety of platforms: iHeart, TuneIn, Spotify, our own app, Talk TV, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Rumble. You can see the well-coiffed Scott Sapicki on Talk TV, and I would encourage you to come take a look because it's quite something. What were we going to talk about? I remember we were going to talk about flock cameras and data processing centers. You went to D.C. and you guys had a number of meetings about these data centers.
Well, we had a meeting of a bunch of different things.
Okay.
It was Tennessee Day in Washington. We met with a lot of the White House staff. They were talking about, it's kind of funny, they were talking about things like RFK was talking about things they wanted us to do for the health of our students and people. They wanted us to put the presidential physical fitness test back in our schools. Check.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted more recess for our elementary kids.
Got it.
Check.
Yeah.
They wanted us to focus more on healthy eating and getting rid of the dyes in our foods in our schools. Check.
Mm-hmm.
So I think out of the 5 things they wanted us to do, we did 4, and the speaker let them know that, we're a little ahead of the curve on that. And then we talked with Dr. Oz about Medicaid and trying to be better with how we deliver the continuum of care surrounding people that need more help. And then I can't remember the guy's name from Homeland Security. It's got you don't talk about
Mark Wayne Mullen.
Mark Wayne Mullen.
Yeah.
And he gave us a great presentation about Homeland Security and the cooperation and it's a blueprint, right, of how we did Memphis, right?
Mm-hmm.
The cooperation between state, local, and federal authorities to take a city that was in turmoil and brought stability and calm to it. And it's been very successful. And I think that, maybe once we get that secured, we added more state troopers in the budget this year to help patrol and keep Memphis, because, you can't keep those federal authorities there forever. And we have to have the supports there for Memphis. Now, that's another argument we can make about whether Memphis is managing their themselves any good to begin with.
Got to get rid of that DA.
But we've got to continue to do better, continue to press forward, continue to require law enforcement and our local officials to work together to create safer environments. It's what we do, man. That's what we do.
Where are we, as you are out and about in your district and in Middle Tennessee generally, in Tennessee generally, the attitude about data centers is, rather negative.
Yes.
And, I'm not saying I have any unique insight into this. I just watch the number of people that use data centers every time they make a transaction at a grocery store, every time they, fill up their gas tank, every business transaction you engage in is going to use a data center in some form or fashion.
Correct.
Obviously your phone. So we're using this.
Yes.
China's not stopping one bit.
No.
There is a legit need to keep that up. At the same time, I see a pushback where many different counties and communities are saying, no, we're putting a moratorium on data centers. What insight do you have?
So there was an interesting presentation we had about data centers in Washington and about what the federal government looks like they're trying to do. And they actually might be trying to do something pretty good, where if you have a data center, their water source has to be closed loop. So you have a set amount of water that you give them, and then you just keep recycling it over and over to keep the machines cool. They said there's new technology on the horizon to allow them to cool themselves more efficient, which means you're less dependent on the water resource, which is good. Talking about if a data center does come to an area, that they are financially responsible for all of the infrastructure upgrades to meet their needs. So you don't put any burden on the taxpayers. I think what we got to do is we got to get to a point, and sometimes it requires us to just sit in committees and have an open discussion, right? Tell us what you're trying to do. Tell us the advantages it has. Because, I mean, everybody I see is using the data centers. They are.
Yeah.
I mean, if you drive, if you use your phone, if you go to a grocery store, if you fill up at a gas station, if you watch TV now, right? Everything is driven through data. And you kind of touched on it. That's very insightful, is I don't think anybody believes that China's going to show up on our shores with an army. They're not. They're going to show up in data, in technology, in infrastructure. And that's the new battlefield, is we've got to be able to meet them on that battlefield and make sure that we are claiming our side of the ledger, that we can defend ourselves through technology, through data, to make sure that we are able to withstand their attack. Because whoever doesn't, you're in trouble.
Well, I would agree with that. And how do you impress? I mean, I guess we're doing it today as we try to pull back the curtain and kind of overcome some of the myths, and some of the realities of what a data center needs. How we can overcome the objections, electrical and water being the two primary objections, and protect the communities that the political servants serve. At the same time, recognizing that those needs are real. Those aren't that's not just fake stuff. That it's a real pressing need to grow these things. Now, we now are very, very competitive with China, but it's a matter of keeping up.
Yes, and you can't fall behind this race. And I think what you do is, you got to let some things die down for a while, and then you come back and you have a conversation. Let's not yell and scream at each other. Let's talk about, okay, what's your objection? And then you go to the source and say, like, for instance, the hum with the animals, right?
Right, yeah.
Tell me how you solve that. What technology can you have that solves the hum to make them quiet?
Well, and some of it is, I think people they're reading things online, and then they're believing it, and then they repeat it, and it's a game of telephone,
right?
Because the server hum is inside of the server. It's inside of the building.
Wait a second. You said they read it online,
and believe it or not,
accessing a data center.
Okay, I get it. But like the issues with noise, for example, the DC Blocks facility near the zoo. The issue with noise is mostly water cooling systems and generators.
Right.
The server hums are inside of the building, and those are insulated, and you can't hear those on the outside of the building. So a lot of this is just a friend told a friend told a friend told a friend, and now we believe it.
I think also what the Trump administration was talking to us about is the technology on this is evolving so quickly that I'm sure that they understand, hey, there's a hum issue here, there's a water pressure issue here that's causing noise. It's just going to take a matter of time until somebody comes up with the technology to silence it. I mean, we complained about people talking too loud, and we got noise-canceling headphones, right? So it's just, this is the great thing about our country, Matt, is ingenuity. Somebody's going to come up with the ingenuity to do this, and you know what they're going to wind up doing? They're going to wind up buying an island somewhere because they created the technology to do it. And I hope it's an American. Hope it's an American company that comes up with this technology that solves this problem.
Well, I mean, and we as a society can go a different route. I don't think it's necessarily a smart one. But if we for those of you who are just fervently anti-data center, there's another path that we can take. And it's a path going back 25, 30, 35 years and removing these technologies that we all use in our daily lives. And I don't know that you quite... I would humbly suggest, I'm not trying to play this game with you, but I don't necessarily know that you quite understand how much you use data centers in your daily life.
Are these people complaining to you on the text line or email?
Yes, some of them are, yes.
Oh, well.
There you go.
There you go.
Let's talk. I don't want to give this dude too much airtime.
The Nazi?
Yes.
Okay.
But we do need to talk about him because he's attacking you.
That's fine.
He's coming after you. So for those that don't know, there's this fella... properly referred to as a Nazi by Sapicki, by the name of Austin Lee. He's been on the show. You can look him up on the podcast. A very, very odd conversation. He is a very odd human being. He is a real person. There are people that don't believe he's real.
Oh, no, he's real.
He's real. He's gone to Murray County Republican meetings. He's been kicked out of Murray County Republican meetings.
Both of them. Debbie Matthews the other day.
And Debbie Matthews had her Republican meeting, and she had to boot him out as well. He has very odd views about life in general, and he walked into an empty room and declared himself the president of that room, right? So for those that don't know, he is misrepresenting himself as the president of the Young Republicans of Murray County. The Young Republican group in Murray County went dormant several years ago.
Not enough members.
And he decided that he would just be the president. Nobody's voted on him, and the group doesn't really exist. It's just him alone. Someone's funding him, though.
Yes.
He has sent out several different flyers in the mail. Two
of them.
The latest one is an attack on you.
I can tell you how much it costs to send a mail flyer out of about 2,000 people.
Yeah.
Probably pushing $7,000 to $10,000.
So where's he getting his money? Do we know?
My question is, if he's representing himself as the Murray County Young Republican president, and he's sending out these flyers, I got to imagine that campaign finance comes in here somewhere.
I would think
that somebody wants to know where this money's coming from.
I would think.
If I get a tank of gas through my campaign account, I have to disclose that.
Right.
Like, I have to disclose everything. And maybe it's not, but maybe it should be. That if you're representing yourself as a political entity, that you should have to disclose where that money's coming from.
Well, I would think so.
So that we know who's funding you. And I do not believe that this individual is funding this himself. I believe he's getting support. And we in Murray County believe it's coming from people inside Murray County that, we'll just say, enjoy his same type of ideology.
He said that you told him that you would debate him, and I think this was born. You said at a Republican meeting that this is not the time to debate this. We can debate this at some other time.
Correct, and that's what we said as a challenge.
All right, so y'all think about this now. So Biggie's sitting there, and this guy is trying to talk over people, and Scott trying to calm the room. Tell me if I'm wrong here. You're like, we're not debating this today. We can debate that at another time. We're moving on.
Right.
And he took that as you agreeing to a debate.
It's a challenge. Yeah, a challenge. Right.
And you're not going to debate this guy.
No, I'm not going to give him the time of day. There's no way.
And just I have to ask, why not?
Well, I think because by me being on the same stage with him, I legitimize his cause. And his cause is he wants to ban Islam and Hinduism in our country. He believes that there's this nefarious plan, this plot, led by Israel to remove all white people from our country and enslave them. He believes that we should not, he didn't say this, right? He didn't say no wars for Israel. He said no wars for Jews. That's a big difference.
Yeah.
He believes that women should not be in any type of authority position in government at all.
Elected office?
Nothing. So I guess our potential governor of Marsha Blackburn shouldn't be entitled. And I went back and I looked at it, and I'm trying to find somewhere in the Constitution where it says women can't hold office. Are you aware of that exists anywhere?
I don't think so.
Or women should not be in any type of leadership position. Or we should ban a minority religion. Is that in the Constitution anywhere?
I don't think so.
I think he's got a problem with something called the Constitution that thankfully we all live by.
I just want to know what this dude's story is. I mean, you know, and maybe I shouldn't. But, I mean, we had him on the show. I asked him where he was from, and he refused to tell me.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's the kind of guy we're dealing with. And he's coming after you, and he's probably getting more attention than he deserves.
Correct.
But at the same time, I want to see him go down because he's misrepresenting himself. He's harming my Republican friends in Murray County. I don't like it.
Well, he has hijacked a platform, and that platform needs to be stripped away from him. Now, if he wants to go on the street corner and say, I'm so-and-so and I believe this, more power to you, because you know what? The Constitution gives you that right to be an idiot.
Sure. And if you want to go to open meetings and wait your turn to speak and then, make an idiot of yourself,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
I mean, you can keep your mouth closed and we'll guess that you're an idiot, or you can open your mouth and confirm it. And the thing that he's spouting is things he said in the meeting. about I said this is rhetoric from 1930s in Europe, right? The Nazi regime. And I said 6 million Jews died and 90 million people had to die to get rid of those people. And he said, quote unquote, it was right then and it's right now. Okay, you're done.
Yeah.
You're done.
Yeah,
this is serious times for serious people.
Yeah, that's just no good.
Ain't gonna happen.
Before you go,
yes.
Any thoughts on Flock, this technology? I mean, we'll be talking with Glen Jacobs about it coming up in a couple of minutes.
I think Representative Hill, Timothy Hill from East Tennessee is working on some legislation. I think it's we use it in a way like with Amber Alerts, right? We had an Amber Alert the other day, and we used the cameras to find where the car was, and we got the child back, right? We do this with Silver Alerts, right? Seniors who drive off and we don't know where they are. We use this tool in a way to provide safety and security. I think what I don't like is the passive recording. For what reason?
Right.
I mean, what do you? I mean, because if you have a data center, right, you can store oodles and oodles of information in the data center. For what?
Yeah.
And I go back to my head, and there's a movie, folks, if you want to watch it. Hey, maybe this is for Jackson.
Write this one down.
Minority Report.
Have you seen Minority Report, by the way? Oh, man.
He hasn't seen Minority Report?
Oh, man.
Watch Minority Report, and then you'll understand why we're so concerned about these cameras.
What? Just beware the eyeball scene.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty tough. That's pretty tough. That's pretty tough.
You got to do what you got to do, I guess.
But, hey, folks, early voting ends, I think, Saturday.
That's right.
We got the election on Thursday. Get out and vote.
Get out and vote, friends. You know, and I was talking to Senator Jack Johnson about this yesterday, earlier today. I love my new home state of Tennessee. I absolutely love it. I adore it. Almost 5 years been here now. I would say this if I were in Tennessee or Alabama, because sadly it is the case everywhere that in these primaries, especially in a state like ours, where so much is decided. I mean, I don't think anybody with any sense believes that the Democrat candidate has a snowball's chance and of beating the Republican candidate, whoever that might be.
Yeah.
So this is kind of your election.
Correct.
All right, this is the big leagues, and 20% of the voters will decide this election.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
I mean, people died for that right, and you should honor them with at least going to vote.
More than 20. I promise you this: more than 20% will call me for the next 4 years complaining about what's happening. So I mean, I just want you to get out and
just go vote.
Just go vote, and come see Representative Scott Sapicki next week at Hop Springs.
I may be a little more casual, so you have to forgive me.
Oh, good gracious!
Are we going to see Scott in a T-shirt?
T-shirt? I don't think I've ever seen Sapicki.
You won't see me in a T-shirt.
I don't think I've ever seen Sapicki.
You won't see me in a T-shirt.
Do you wear collared shirts when you're out on the farm?
No, I don't. I dress a lot differently on the farm. I can sometimes people when I go out to like co-op or something, they'll give me a double take on. Wait a second,
brother. I just realized something, Jackson. Remember we were talking about overalls the other day?
Yeah,
Sapicki in a pair of overalls.
No, not me. I'm not an overall guy.
No. I can see you on green
blue jeans and some boots and a
I can
t-shirt.
see you on Green Acres.
Oh Lord.
Down. No,
I'll pass.
Well, we look forward to seeing you next week.
Tell Mayor Jacobs hello.
I will. It is 26 after the hour. We've got Glen Jacobs coming up next. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hi, friends. Matt Murphy for Efficient Heating and Cooling. Jeff Eddy and Efficient Heating and Cooling. They don't want to talk with you. The AC is running hard right now. We get it. I mean, we're in the thick of it, and we've still got several months of hot weather to go. And if your AC is not running as you want it to, if you've noticed there's some issues, you need to make that early call. Don't wait for things to go horribly wrong. Go ahead and call Jeff Eddy. It's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. They'll get out on a maintenance call. It's $125 or less in their service area, depending on where you are in that service area. Oftentimes, it's much less than that $125 figure. Efficient Heating and Cooling, when the time comes, they're an Elite Pro partner with Rheem. They can offer you many options as to how to replace your unit. I went through that in February of this year. having to replace my 5-ton unit, and I could not have been happier with the price point, could not have been happier with the options that laid out in front of me, or the service provided by Jeff Eddy and Efficient Heating and Cooling. If your AC is not ready, call Jeff Eddy, efficienthvac.net, or call 615-784-4424 for Efficient.
.30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. And right now in Nashville, that crash on 24 westbound in Whites Creek, that's a fatal crash involving 3 semi-trucks. One of the drivers died there. Metro police say one of the truck drivers killed in the collision, but they have not released any other information on that driver or what might have caused that crash. Again, traffic being diverted at exit 40, and it's causing backups for several miles, no matter which alternative route you take. Metro police investigating after a body was found inside a truck along I-65 North this morning. Officers called to the area near Trinity Lane just before 10 o'clock for a welfare check. When they got there, they discovered a dead person inside the vehicle there parked on the shoulder. The northbound entrance ramp and right shoulder were closed for that investigation. And in Georgia, Colin Gray, the father who gave his son Colt the gun that was used in a deadly shooting in 2024 at Appalachia High School, was sentenced to 15 years in prison. Here's Judge Nicholas Prim before he handed down the sentence.
You did not provide a stable household. You did not have things in check with Marcy's issues and what the kids were being exposed to.
2 teachers and 2 students were killed in the shooting. And the U.S. and Iran trading strikes with one another again. Retired Colonel Seth Crumrich telling ABC News this war is widening to more countries and proxy groups in the region.
There hasn't been this much global conflict with these number of countries since World War II. And I think people need to step back and take a look at how big of a global conflict that we're currently in right now.
Meanwhile, rising gasoline prices linked to disruptions in the Middle East have strained household budgets in this country, but consumers kept spending, helping prevent a sharper economic slowdown in the second quarter. New government figures show the U.S. economy expanded at a 1.5% annual rate from April through June. That's down from 2.1% growth in the first quarter and weaker than forecasts. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. So again, 24 westbound still shut down there at Whites Creek Pike. That's exit 40 and exit 35 for that crash between those exits involving 3 semis. One of the drivers died in that crash. In Madison, a stalled vehicle on the on-ramp partially blocking it. 65 northbound on-ramp from Old Hickory Boulevard. We've got Lebanon Pike west of Donaldson Pike, a crash. Smyrna, a crash reported 24 westbound before Sam Ridley Parkway. I'm Ken Weaver.
Hello, friends. Matt Murphy for U.S. Pest. U.S. Pest has a mission, and that mission is pretty simple. All across Middle Tennessee, J.K. and Erica Brister, they want to come to your place of business. They want to come to your home. They want to find the bugs, and they want to eliminate them. Either eliminate them or make them go far, far away in a land where you are free of them. And let me tell you something, friends. Their system works. They believe in getting rid of the bugs where they live and breathe inside of your home, in the walls of your home. Friends, if you've seen one roach, I'm hesitant to tell you that there are many, many others where that one came from. You need to get rid of these things through U.S. Pest. They're simply the best. Now, I understand that every pest control company wants to suggest that they're better than the other. I'm telling you that U.S. Pest delivers on the promises they make. 100% money-back satisfaction on termite protection, corrective, and preventative, on pest control. All of these things are documentable, and all you have to do is call the number that I'm about to give you and talk to them about what they can do for you at US Pest. Go to uspest.com online if you want to find out more info. uspest.com. Are you ready for that free estimate? Make the call, 590-1260, 590-1260 for our friends at US Pest. They love the United States of America, and they hate bugs. At US Pest. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. You know, some of you might ask, I wonder what Murphy does while Ken Weaver's doing the newscast. Well, outside of paying rapt attention to every single thing that Ken Weaver says during his newscast, you might wonder, well, what is Murphy doing during the commercial advertisement timeouts? Now, Jackson, he's in there, picking his nose or whatever. I'm doing the important stuff. You know what I was just doing, Jackson? You want to guess what I was just doing?
I saw you. You were picking your nose.
I was not picking my nose, Jackson. That's incorrect. I was, I just saw, hey, Ken.
Yes, sir.
Have you seen this video of the little corgi dog and the golden?
No.
There's a little corgi dog. I'm going to send it to you. And a golden retriever. And the corgi dog runs over to the golden retriever and says, hey, come on, let's go. And they run over it's hard to describe. The corgi takes the golden retriever and goes through a glass door, and there's just glass between the corgi and the golden retriever. And as soon as they get behind the glass, they start barking and snarling and fussing at one another.
Oh, yeah, I'm watching it right now.
Are you seeing this?
Yes.
Oh, it's hilarious. I don't know why it makes me giggle so much, but I've been watching it for the last hour, every break. Right, the corgi's like,
just stop.
Yeah, the corgi's like, hey, come on, let's go. And the golden retriever's like, okay, cool, let's go. All right, they go. It's like this radio show. I think it's the reason I like it so much. Is that Jackson and I are as nice as can be to one another, and then we get on the radio, and Jackson turns into a jerk on me. I don't know why.
Don't you play with me, Matt Murphy.
You know who I'm going to play with right now? Knox County Mayor Glen Jacobs. We're going to talk to him on the radio. I'm very excited. Glen Jacobs doesn't have a snarl in him, I don't think. I think he gave that up after his wrestling career. Knox County Mayor Glen Jacobs joins us on the Murphy Hotline to talk about flock cameras and more. Glen, what is going on, my friend?
Hey, man, how are you?
Glen, I'm fabulous. You've been blowing and going. You're burning the midnight oil. How's it been?
I refuse to answer that question. I plead the Fifth Amendment.
Hey, I think you'll answer this one though. You're going to be in Franklin, Tennessee this weekend, and I wanted to offer you my services because I think you're filling a role at the Jack Johnson Boots and Jeans Barbecue and Beans event that I was doing last year. And I'm going to be there, and I just thought I would offer myself to you. I know sometimes you're in need of a body man or security, Glenn. You're just so slight of stature. I was just going to offer myself if you needed that at all this weekend.
Well, I appreciate that, man. I may take you up on that. Who knows? I always use a good person to be my bodyguard, my friend. So we'll see.
Well, are you ready for next week, man? I mean, I know you've been out and about. I know you're a big supporter of Marsha Blackburn. Obviously, there's other races to discuss. I don't know if you've endorsed in any of those others, but are you ready to see at least the primary finish line come next Thursday?
Yeah, next Thursday or next week is going to be a busy week. Obviously, it's exciting, but it will be a lot of work and just traveling around the state. So, but it's really cool because I think with elections, you get to experience a bit of Americana, that may not see otherwise. So that part is cool, but it is going to be very busy.
Have you talked about what's next for you at all? And I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but sure. I mean, I don't. Obviously, you're leaving your role as Knox County Mayor pretty soon, and I just feel like there's more to your public service that has yet to be scripted.
Yeah, we'll see. It really depends on how things shake out in different races and those sort of things. I've enjoyed my time as mayor. Because of the nature of the job, I would not stay in politics just to stay in politics. If there's something that I would enjoy and I think my skill set would fit, I would be interested in that. And it may not be, maybe in government, it might be in some other stuff. Who knows? But we'll just have to see.
Yeah.
And, everything's always about timing. And again, what opportunities open up where, if I would like to do that, if I'd be good at it. Those are the questions that I have to ask myself.
Well, no, and I appreciate that openness and that honesty that we've always gotten out of you when it comes to those types of things. And I also appreciate your openness and your honesty when it comes to new technologies, specific to the flock safety cameras. And I know Flock is a specific brand. And I'll just tell you where I'm at, Glenn. I mean, I describe myself as a libertarian with a small L. I mean, I know that you have a libertarian streak that's very, very wide that runs through you. And what I've said is that I understand that I do not have any expectation of privacy when I'm out in public, but I do have an expectation that I'm not being surveilled. And right. I feel like that's the difference in the technology that we've seen in the past with regard to what they could do versus what's coming with the AI component to all of this. Walk us through where you are on Flock cameras.
Well, you are 100% in agreement with where I'm at. You don't have an expectation of privacy in public places on public streets, but the Supreme Court has actually ruled that the government can't surveil you without a warrant. That was in Carpenter v. United States in 2018. The FBI had, without a warrant, collected cell phone location data on a suspect, and they said that you can't do that. You can, the spot, like if you're driving by a license plate reader, that's okay, but you cannot constantly surveil people. And again, as you mentioned, Flock is a brand, it's a company, Flock Safety, but their cameras are very different from license plate readers, because what their cameras do is their cameras not only read the license plate, but they also develop what they call a fingerprint of the vehicle, make, model, color, characteristics such as roof racks, bumper stickers, all those sort of things. But the real danger comes in that when the cameras are put out in large numbers, and they're deployed in large numbers, they can be used to track your movements, because instead of just, like a license plate reader where you drive by and say it's a stolen car or Amber Alert, and there's the camera sees that, identifies whatever on the vehicle, that's a hit, alerts the police that this car just passed this area. That's not how Flock cameras work. They gather data continually. Every car that passes by, they pull the data. It goes into the cloud. Then it is searchable for 30 days. And the danger is when they're deployed in large numbers, okay, I know that Glen drives by this camera every day at this time, this camera every day at this time, this camera every day at this time, this camera every day at this time. I know that Glen goes to the gun range at least once a week, twice on Sundays. Now, I don't like people that go to the gun range. I know that Glen went to a anti-COVID mandate rally. I don't like that either. Now, all of a sudden, they have basically mapped out a pattern of my travel. That is the real danger. When it comes to license plate readers, and they're just, again, they're kind of passive in that when they get a hit, there's an alert. These things are actively surveilling everybody. And to me, that's unconstitutional and it's un-American. And I think the real issue is people don't really understand how they work. They're different from technologies we've had in the past. And as you said, when you combine that with AI, it gets really scary.
Right. And the way that I've described it, and you just did it very, very well. I don't think I can top that. But, a standard LPR license plate reader requires kind of an affirmative input. In other words, hey, yes, we're looking for this vehicle that's stolen, that is, might have this person in it. And then the LPR is a technology that gives the police the ability to go, oh, there it is. It's over there on 10th Street or whatever. As opposed to what you just described as utilizing all of these different cameras and say, oh, Glen went here and then went here and went here. And then the AI component of this, and it's all about the software, right? It can then, alert police, hey, we think Glen might be doing something weird. You might want to look into this. Well, that gets into that, science fiction kind of pre-crime. Yeah. That's, and that's the objection, is one, and you described very well too. One, again, is a passive system. It does not alert until
the targeted license plate or whatever passes by. The other is an active system. It's just gathering data all the time, and then and really the scary thing for me is that in Tennessee the laws regarding license plate readers were written in 2014 with a very slight amendment in 2021, and there's no national regulations surrounding them. How much has technology advanced?
And in 12 years? Oh, boy.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
It's light years ahead, yeah.
It's the Wild West when it comes to regulation on these things.
So the Knox County Sheriff's Office, I think I'm right in this, they released plans to bring 270 flock cameras to Knox County. They're utilizing a $1 million plus grant. You've expressed your concern. I know that Representative Tim Burchett has expressed his concern. He has issued a bill federally that would prohibit agencies from purchasing or accessing surveillance systems. Is there any more that can be done? I mean, is the sheriff just, are y'all just going to have to agree to disagree on this issue or what?
Well, yeah, there is more that can be done, and the sheriff has paused the rollout and turning the cameras on. We're both towards the end of our terms, so ultimately this is something that the next mayor and the next sheriff will take up. I have spoken with several state legislators about this, and hopefully at the state level we'll see some legislation coming out in January. This should not be, like public safety versus privacy. The thing is, we can do both, and too often we present folks with binary choices, and it's either or. Now, in this case, you can protect privacy and you can still utilize technology to get the job done. The problem with these things is they violate technology, or they violate privacy, and they violate the Fourth Amendment, in my opinion. Ultimately, of course, the courts will also have a say here.
Would you like?
In the meantime,
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Glenn, but Glen Jacobs, our guest, by the way, Knox County Mayor. Would you like to see something done on a state level? It's my understanding Representative Timothy Hill is considering, some sort of legislation in the next General Assembly to address this statewide. Would you welcome that?
Yes, and I've talked to Jason Zachary and others about this as well. So yes, it has to be done. Okay, the technology's here, and really what's happened is the horses got out of the barn, and we need to figure out how to put guardrails on the horse so it just doesn't run wild. At this point, there are no guardrails, and you have industry standards that departments are following. Well, who developed the industry standards? Flock safety? I don't know. Those sort of things that we need to talk about. And in the end, though, I think that this sort of surveillance cannot happen in America. Again, you have advanced license plate readers. That's fine as long as they're passive, as long as they're targeted towards individual vehicles. But this idea that we're just going to basically keep track of everything and know where everybody's going, that to me is just anathema to everything our country stands.
And just to clarify, we're talking about government installation. Obviously, private individuals have an ability to do some things on their own property that we're not talking about these private companies that are doing this.
No, absolutely not. No, and it's like folks say, well, we're already surveilled because we have a cell phone and you have your car and all those things. Well, those are things I choose to do, and I choose to go on to do business with a certain business that has security cameras and all those things. But if I want, I can get a flip phone. I don't have to have a phone at all. I can get a different vehicle. I cannot go to those businesses. The difference is I have to travel on the roads to get anywhere, and the government is not giving me a choice. If I could opt out, okay, I would opt out. But that's, as you said, that's the big difference. I'm not talking about private businesses. They can pretty much do whatever they want. The Fourth Amendment doesn't apply to them, except in the courts have ruled in very certain circumstances. And really that actually has to do with their relationship with government. But we're talking about the government using these things.
Glen Jacobs, our guest. I mean, would you go so far as to consider this an issue that needs to be taken up nationally? I mean, take it a step further. We talked about the state. Do you think that the federal government has some say in this?
I do, because ultimately we have a Fourth Amendment which says that there is a bar that has to be met before a warrant can be issued, and we're supposed to be secure in our persons, houses, papers, and effects. Now, with new technology, I would also say our data, our images, information, those sort of things. So, yes, I do think that there needs to be some sort of federal regulation as well to address this.
Glenn, always good to catch up with you, brother. We enjoy the conversation. I look forward to seeing you Sunday afternoon in Franklin at the factory. And until next time, we'll talk to you again.
Thanks, Matt.
All right, brother.
See ya.
There's Glenn Jacobs, mayor of Knox County. Glenn, working hard in an effort to get Marsha Blackburn elected as well. Obviously, he's a surrogate for Well, he's a treasurer of her political campaign. So we'll see him on Sunday afternoon at Jack Johnson's event. And if I see you, be sure to say hello to us. It's 54 after the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hi, friends. It's Matt Murphy. Let's talk for a moment about your vehicle. If you have a European vehicle, it can be frustrating getting that thing fixed. I get it. I mean, I do not have a European vehicle, but I know plenty of people that do. And sometimes they just feel like they're getting ripped off. I mean, especially when you go to the dealership where you pay premiums to get your vehicle fixed. What if I told you there was a place that's not your typical greasy garage that is superior to the dealership in every way because they charge you less. You get the same rock-solid service. You get a rock-solid 3-year, 36,000-mile nationwide warranty on all the repairs that they perform, plus a rental car available at every appointment. Eurofix does all of these things and have for 25 years. There's a reason they're growing with locations in Nashville, Franklin, Belmead, Murfreesboro, and Mount Juliet. Call 844-EUROFIX today. That's 844-EUROFIX, or visit online at myEurofix.com. That's myEurofix.com.
5 o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. 24 westbound shut down in Whites Creek because of a fatal semi crash this morning. 3 semis crashing, one of them overturning, one of the drivers dying. TDOT reports traffic's being rerouted there at the Old Hickory Boulevard exit as crews work the crash site. The interstate expected to stay closed for an extended period. We'll let you know as soon as it's reopened, but pretty much any alternative route you take right now, so is everybody else. So just expect delays. A death investigation underway after a body was found in a truck parked along I-65 North this morning. Metro Police responded shortly before 10 o'clock there near Trinity Lane. And in Georgia, Colin Gray, the father who gave his son Colt the gun that was used in a deadly shooting in a 2024 shooting at Appalachian High School, sentenced to 15 years in prison today. Here's Judge Nicholas Prim before he handed down the sentence.
But for you failing to get Colt help, but for your failure to remove access to the guns, this doesn't happen. September 4th would have been a normal day.
2 teachers, 2 students killed in that shooting. Iran war. Retired Colonel Seth Crumrich telling ABC News the war has widened to more countries and proxy groups in the region. He says it hasn't been like this since World War II.
Iran's leveraging the Houthis both to stop Saudi Arabian ships going through the Bab al-Mandeb and then also attacking oil infrastructure in Saudi Arabia to make things extremely painful there as well. So we are definitely moving much deeper into a widening war and farther away from a ceasefire or a peace deal.
Analysts say higher energy costs tied to the conflict in the Middle East are weighing on economic growth in this country. U.S. economy slowed in the second quarter, growing at an annual rate of 1.5%, below economists' expectations. Even so, consumer spending remains strong and continued to support the economy. Here in Tennessee, a new political ad targeting Senator Marsha Blackburn's drawing legal pushback from her gubernatorial campaign.
Marsha Blackburn's the queen farmer mama who's ready to sell.
Call Senator Marsha Blackburn and tell her to stop selling out Tennessee.
That satirical commercial claims Blackburn accepted pharmaceutical industry money and helped pass legislation tied to the nation's opioid crisis. Blackburn's attorneys have sent a cease and desist letter demanding the ad be removed from television stations and advertising platforms. The group behind the ad is American Exceptionalism Institute. And a bizarre scene in California's San Bernardino County where investigators say a kidnapper executed a victim in front of sheriff's deputies.
It started as reports of gunfire and screams for help in a San Bernardino County neighborhood. Responding deputies saw a suspect vehicle and pulled it over after a short pursuit. The driver and passenger were ordered out of the car, and that's when the sheriff's department says a driver got out, went to the trunk of the car, and shot and killed a kidnapped victim who was in the trunk. Then the driver was shot and killed by deputies.
Apparently there was a victim inside there that had been kidnapped.
Investigators say the relationship between those who were in the car and the victim who was in the trunk isn't clear. The victim and driver are dead. The passenger was arrested. Alex Stone, ABC News.
That's the latest news, traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. 24 westbound at Whites Creek is still shut down for that fatal crash investigation between exits 40 and 35. We've got Madison, a stalled vehicle on-ramp partially blocked. 65 northbound on-ramp from Old Hickory Boulevard. 65 northbound and southbound through that construction between Millersville and Goodlettsville on down to Madison. It is like a parking lot at times today. Lebanon Pike, west of Donaldson Pike, there is a crash. And then a crash, Charlotte Avenue, just east of 42nd Avenue. And in Brentwood, a wreck, Concord Road at Nolensville Pike. I'm Ken Weaver.
It is 7 minutes after 5 o'clock. I'm sorry. I don't like starting an hour of the show or starting the show at all by giggling while I come on the radio. I don't like people that do that, but I am guilty of it because I was just presented by a loyal listener with a video. You know, we were talking about the dogs earlier, that there were the dogs just going after one another, the Corgi dog and the Golden Retriever going after one another when they're behind the glass, and then they get from behind the glass and they're like, hey, what's going on? How are you? It's nice to see you. And then they get behind the glass again. And a listener sent me a video of her or his, I don't know if it's a he or she, 3 dogs, and that they didn't have a backyard fence. They just moved to Tennessee from another state recently. And so for a while they didn't have a backyard fence, so they had to take their dogs out on leashes. Well, they got a backyard fence, and so now they can open up the sliding glass door and let their dogs out. Well, their dogs have become accustomed to the sliding glass door being there. And so they opened the sliding glass door, and one of the dogs just sat there looking at the opening and then tried to raise up on it with their front paws and kind of flop through. It's very funny. I'll try to figure out a way to present all of this to you as a listening audience on Super Talk TV.
You got to show that little fat corgi, too.
Oh, my goodness. That corgi's hilarious. That corgi's like, come on, buddy.
Yeah, come on.
Let's go. Let's get over here and yell at one another.
Come on, let's do our thing.
I mean, the corgi, Ken, is it fair to say that the corgi is basically me every day at 3 o'clock? Hey, guys, y'all having a good afternoon? Everybody having fun? Come on, let's go over here and yell for a while. We having a good time?
Not every day, Brother Murphy.
Well, most days. Some days. Every once in a while. By the way, Ken, speaking of yelling, this might make you. Jackson Williams won nincompoops yesterday. I'm sorry.
I kind of figured he was.
Sorry to report. Well, it was cheap. I mean, the whole thing was cheap. Yeah. Using the pain and suffering of the UT Volunteer Nation to win nincompoops. I mean, there's low, Jackson, and then there's real low.
How many times have you used our audience's hatred for the Democratic Party to win nincompoops?
Jackson, as I sit here today, I can't recall.
Are you invoking your Fifth Amendment right?
I'm going to invoke my Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination per the Constitution of the United States of America. Thank you. Thank you. I got a good one today, though. We got nincompoops coming up in about 25 minutes or so. Your telephone call is 615-737-9986, particularly on the issue of flock cameras. And several of you have asked. I have had somewhat of a change of position over the years on this. And I don't consider it a sign of weakness. I consider it a sign of growth. It is one thing to, stand by your core convictions regarding, political principles or whatever, but if something flies in the face of logic and reason, you kind of have to reassess where you are on it. I believe in giving police the tools and there's limits to the tools that we're going to give them. The tools under the law, and that's the key phrase here, to do the job. And there are police officers that are my friends that tell me, Murphy, this is going to help us do our job. They'll tell you everything. They'll tell you that flock cameras or these, surveillance cameras, advanced license plate readers that serve as surveillance technology. Murphy, these are going to save lives. These are going to protect the citizenry. These are going to make it easier for the police officers on the beat to do their jobs. How long? This is where I would go with that. There has always been a good, natural, and proper tension between our desire to be safe and secure and our freedoms to live a life of our own choosing, unencumbered or unfettered by government interference or limitation on our freedom, so long as we're not violating the rights of other people. And we should and ought to have in the United States a freedom of movement without concern that we are being surveilled by the government. My belief in, or my support of, license plate readers as used 10 or 12 years ago by our law enforcement agencies are based on the idea that there is information that is moved into a secure area in a limited fashion, not processed on the cloud, but utilized in a secure location. And only if you have affirmative input into the situation can you draw that information out. In other words, if I tell you we're looking for a white Nissan whatever with a license plate that, partial plate or full plate, with that input, then we can extract information out that can potentially lead the police to facilitate an arrest and perhaps to prevent crime. There are some that are against that technology, and I get it. And I've had many a debate about whether or not that rises to the level of a surveillance state. Over the years, the situation has changed, folks, and now we have integrated camera systems that are being employed and deployed in major cities that act as a surveillance state in and of themselves. They communicate with one another, they share information with one another, and they utilize artificial intelligence in order to report not just law breaking. That would, be one thing, but they report movement in a way that they attempt to predict law breaking activity. And that's something that I can't go there. And if you are a police officer and you say to me, well, Murphy, that makes our job harder, then I say to you, well, then your job just has to be harder. That swings the pendulum too far toward the direction of security. One of the most secure nations on planet Earth is North Korea. Anybody want to live there? There's once again, natural tension that exists between liberty and freedom and the security that we have an expectation of. And by the way, none of this is to prevent or preclude private citizens from doing their own. I was talking to someone yesterday that told me that they had family that lived in a neighborhood that their HOA had provided for these license plate reader cameras in their neighborhoods years ago. And that is up to you. If you understand the agreement that you're entering into, obviously, it's a private contract between you and, if you're buying a home, then you have to talk to the homeowners association about all of that. And if you agree to that, well, then you agree to that. And many people that live in these neighborhoods are absolutely happy with it because it provides a level of security that they want. But that's a privately run deal. TB wants to know, Matt, with all of this talk about LPRs, how do you feel about TWRs? Jackson, you know what a TWR is? A tinted window reader. I'm against those too. So will removing all Fourth Amendment rights help law enforcement do their jobs? I'm not. Yeah, I mean, right. I mean, that's the point. Is that if law enforcement had the ability to just knock on your door and come in your house and search your house at any time that they want for any excuse that they want to make, well, that would help law enforcement out too. But we're not going to do that. That's absurd. There are certain rules of the road, and most law enforcement understand it. And I don't begrudge law enforcement for attempting to push that technological envelope and try to get an advancement in technology that will best serve them to help them solve crime. Most law enforcement agents, they're not interested in surveilling you. They're interested in stopping crime. And there are many great examples of LPRs working very effectively. Mount Juliet, my previous adopted hometown, is one of them. Watertown has them on both ends of town, and Brian Wilson was on the city council when they were installed. I don't think Brian Wilson's ever been on the city. I mean, maybe he is. I don't know. Does anybody know? Is Brother Brian Wilson on the? I don't think he's on the city council of Watertown. I think he was thinking about running for mayor over there.
I think he was thinking about something like that, but I don't think he's.
I think he was on. I think Brian was. I want to say that he was a part of the Chamber of Commerce for a while, but that's a different deal. That's welcoming business into a given community. Watertown. You know what Watertown is, Ken?
What's that?
Bucolic.
Yes, it is.
You know how I know that?
Brother Brian.
Brian told us. Mm-hmm. And I've been there because of Brian. And it is bucolic. I'd like to refer to Mount Pleasant as bucolic, but I've already stolen Brian's disabused. I use that a lot on the show.
Yeah, I always liked Brother Brian using that.
Allow me to. He said it so much better than I ever will, though.
Allow me to disabuse you of that notion.
That's exactly right. I love it. That's good. Allow me to disabuse you of that notion, if I may. But yeah, it's beautiful and it's bucolic over there. And yeah, I don't think he's on the city council, but I think it was. Yeah. Okay. So 2222 agrees it was Chamber of Commerce. Look, I mean, communities are all up. That's why we're talking about it, because communities are utilizing it because the police say they want it. And it's a free money grant. Free money, free money, free money. What does Sean say about it? He's next. Hey, Sean, what's up?
Hi, sir. Good afternoon. I think there was a place, and I'd have to look for the video. I don't remember exactly where out here, but there was a detective that showed up at a woman's house because they read her plates. And what happened was he said, we saw you go to that house. We followed you all the way to your house. No, I'm sorry. She went by this house. It looked like she stopped, and they read her plate, and he showed up at her door and said, ma'am, with this system, we know when you're breathing. I couldn't believe he said that. So they processed her. She went out on bail, and luckily through cameras like the Ring camera, she was able to show a timestamp that she wasn't in that area. And I just couldn't believe he was pompous enough to say, we know when you breathe. And I assume all the other citizens too.
Wow. I mean, yeah, it's this type of stuff. Look, I'm sure it would make it very easy for. I mean, I don't mean to take this to extremes. And Sean just gives us another example. And thank you, Sean, for the call. I mean, it would be very easy for us to say, well, if we just allow the police to monitor us every place we go, then everybody's going to be safer as a result. And as long as you're not doing anything that you ought not to be doing, you don't have anything to be worried about. Is that the America we want to live in? Is that the Tennessee we want to live in? Where there is artificial intelligence monitoring your whereabouts no matter where you go. And, as long as you're abiding by the law, what are you concerned with? And if you're not abiding by the law, if you're doing something you ought not to do, well, you probably shouldn't be doing that in the first place. Now, I value the spirit of freedom of movement, freedom of association, and freedom from surveillance more than that. And I think most of you do too. This is not anti-police. God bless the police. We love you. And I appreciate you. And I want to give you every constitutional tool available to effectively do your jobs, to get home safely, to protect and serve the public that you've sworn to protect and to serve. But this just extends beyond the boundaries. And you're talking to a guy that 10 years ago was supportive of LPR readers, and now technology has advanced to the point that I can't be anymore. And it really makes me relook at all of them because, frankly, when you get the technology in place, if you get 270 cameras in Knox County, for example, and those cameras are working together, and you tell me, oh, we've put the safeguards in place so they can't do anything that would be a violation. Well, software updates, they're a you-know-what. And it's all about the software at that point once you get the hardware installed. 21 after the hour. Your thoughts, 615-737-9986. Also, when we return, potentially the tightest race in Middle Tennessee is in Congressional District number 6. And I'm curious your thoughts on some of the endorsements that are coming from that district with regard to Van Hillary, John Henry, and Johnny Garrett. 21 after the hour. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hello, friends. Matt Murphy here. You know, we've been telling you about this big event that's coming up just over a week from now at the Glock Store, and I want to make sure that you are aware of it. It's O-Site Day at the Glock Store. Saturday, August 8th from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. You can get hands-on range time with new O-Site optics in their Shoot 270 rooms, Neverlane's rooms. In-store discounts on O-Site, great O-Site raffle giveaways, free swag while supplies last, food trucks on site and ready to go. There's always something happening at the Glock Store, and I love this O-Site Day. People love their O-Site optics, and rightly so. If you've never experienced them, go and find them at the Glock Store Saturday, August 8th between 9 and 6 p.m. and peruse around, see some of the wonderful accessories. Talk to their gunsmith, always a gunsmith on site at the Glock Store. Look at the incredible retail offerings that they have for you. Tour the Shoot 270 rooms, once again, Never Lanes. Look at the manufacturing side of things. We are lucky to have the Glock Store in town in Nashville, Tennessee. And we're lucky to have the O-Site Day happening August 8th, Saturday from 9 until 6. Always something going on at the Glock Store, minutes away from the airport, worth the drive from anywhere. Tell them Matt Murphy sent you to the one and only Glock Store.
A school shooter's father sentenced to prison, and hear from the father of a 10-year-old boy saved by a teenage lifeguard. These stories and more coming up at 5:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Me and you, Matt Murphy, and the rest of the gang, thank you for being one big extended Murphy Show family on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Whether you're watching or listening, maybe on 99.7 FM, maybe you're listening on iHeart, TuneIn, Spotify, perhaps you're watching on Talk TV, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Rumble. I thank you. Episode 1086 of our gatherings together. So 0038 writes in and says, so much information being shared about LPRs, misinformation, so much misinformation being shared about LPRs. LPRs do not predict that you're about to commit a crime. I would encourage you to call me, 0038. Love to talk with you. I'm open to other opinions on this matter, but Flock can track camera to camera and store the data. And 0038 says, I use the system daily, so it does not do what half of the critics say it does. It does not predict your movement. Well, no one said it did. No, it tracks your movement. I'd love to talk to you about it because, I mean, obviously you're a part of a law enforcement apparatus, one would think, that utilizes third-party information gathering. So what does it do that's so beneficial? Well, I mean, I don't have a problem with LPRs that don't store data that you can provide an input into, and it will ping if the input provided is flagged, right? But that's not data storage. That's not data collection. That's not jumping from camera to camera to camera to track movement. And I would suggest that this system, I mean, and you tell me if I'm wrong, 0038, this system with a software upgrade most certainly could do speed detection. That system with a software upgrade, I mean, it's already able to track from, well, I'll just leave it at that. But once again, I'm not trying to down your opinion on the matter. I'm sure that if you utilize the technology on a daily basis, that it's important for what you do, or you feel like it's important for what you do. How long ago was it that we didn't have this type of technology at all? The police did a pretty good job back then. They can continue to do a pretty good job protecting and serving. Sally is next up on the issue of Flock. Hey, Sally, how are you?
Hi, Matt. I'm doing great. Thank you for taking my call.
Of course.
I really appreciate it. So I just wanted to ask you from a victim's perspective, if this technology could save the lives of 50 people a year, would you be willing to do it?
No.
Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate your answer.
I mean, well, Sally, and if I may, explain the answer a little bit further. I mean, you just asked a yes or no, so I was wanting to be respectful of you. There are plenty of things that we could do in the United States of America that would devalue the liberties and freedoms of our citizens, our law-abiding citizens, that potentially could save lives. But we don't do that because we value liberty that much.
Okay.
I mean, and there's a tension between liberty and security, and I don't mean to be cold-hearted when I say it that way, but I mean that's my thoughts on the matter. There are certain liberties that we enjoy that should not be curtailed because evildoers can take advantage of those liberties and commit acts of atrocity against us. In my opinion. That's just my opinion.
Well, I respect that totally. Do you think your opinion would change? And I know this is hypothetical. If, for instance, your wife, or I know you don't have children, if you had a child that was kidnapped and they needed to find that person immediately, and they were able to do it with that technology, would you not want that to be available?
I mean, I am certain in that heightened emotional state, yes. I mean, I'm certain that, I mean, I'd be lying if if I imagined a scenario that you just created, that I wouldn't tell you that I wouldn't want them to do everything imaginable to be able to save my child. But I also don't want the government to be able to track my movements on the regular when I've done nothing wrong. And those two things kind of walk hand in hand together. I promise you that there will be an abuse of any system that has good use to it. I mean, I would be lying if I said that I would probably, in a heightened emotional state, agree to the idea in that scenario.
Okay. All right.
It's fully understandable. Well, I mean,
yes. Just from a victim's perspective, I wanted to understand kind of what your feeling was on that, but I do appreciate your answer. Thank you again for trying to protect our privacy and our freedom as citizens of the United States. Highly respect that. Thank you for what you do every day. Thank you to Ken and Jackson for their awesome work that they do, and have a great day.
Well, Sally, thank you. And, I obviously, I completely understand from a victim's perspective that desire for additional resources that potentially could provide the security necessary. I mean, if somebody's, in the scenario that Sally described, if someone's kidnapped, and you want every resource imaginable to be able to track and catch that person. And many of those resources are potentially available from private cameras and from existing technologies that wouldn't go so far as to violate our rights. But, everyone will have their line in the sand, right? Right. Once again, everyone has that tug and pull between my ability to live a life of my own choosing, to be free, and my desire to make sure that everyone's safe. Thank you, Sally, for the call. 33 after the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes, along with traffic. Speaking of traffic, 24 westbound still shut down there in Whites Creek. That is for that fatal crash involving 3 semi-trucks this morning. At least one of the drivers died. And police are investigating after a person was found dead inside a truck on the side of I-65 this morning. That discovery made when officers responded to a welfare check call near Trinity Lane. Investigators say the vehicle was parked along the northbound shoulder when the body was located. Police have not said anything about the identity of that body or how that person might have died. In Georgia, Colin Gray, the father who gave his son Colt the gun that was used in a deadly shooting in the 2024 Appalachia High School, was sentenced to 15 years in prison. Here's Judge Nicholas Prim before he handed down the sentence.
You were convicted because the warning lights were flashing brighter and brighter, and you didn't get him help, and you didn't remove his access to the guns.
2 teachers and 2 students were killed in that shooting. Iran war, the strikes have sent the price of oil back up. President Trump says the U.S. may keep retaliating if Iran keeps retaliating. Retired Colonel Seth Crumrich telling ABC News the war has widened to more countries and proxy groups in the region, more so than, or actually not at this level. We haven't seen this level, that is, since World War II.
When you just look at the last, say, 72 hours and you see Saudi Arabia directly attacking Iran and the PMF forces in Iraq, when you see what's coming out now that perhaps Hezbollah was behind the drone strikes in Egypt, when we see earlier this month with Bahrain and Kuwait also participating in attacks, so they weren't announced overtly, I think we are.
That is the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. All right, Eastern Split got a crash. Left 2 lanes blocked 40 eastbound there before exit 213AB. And Madison, a stalled vehicle on the on-ramp. 65 northbound on-ramp from Old Hickory Boulevard. Then looking over here at Priest Lake, we got a crash Murfreesboro Pike at Edgehill Lake Drive. And we still have 24 westbound shut down in Whites Creek for that fatal crash investigation involving the 3 semis from this morning. And it looks like there is another crash in the backup. It's right after Briley Parkway. No word on when they're going to reopen 24 westbound in Whites Creek. I'm Ken Weaver.
Hi, friends. Matt Murphy for the Tennessee Men's Clinic. The Tennessee Men's Clinic has 4 separate locations to serve you, gentlemen. And what are they doing? They're getting you back right like you ought to be, like you used to be. Now, what am I talking about? At some point, you'll find a degradation of energy level in your life. Maybe it manifests itself in bedroom activity, and that's the last thing you need. The Tennessee Men's Clinic can get you back feeling like yourself again, and you don't have to wait. You don't have to suffer in silence. You don't have to depend on the internet and some of those online places. Do not trust them. Urology-based, the Tennessee Men's Clinic is here for you. They're local. They'll look you in the eye. They'll tell you what's going on with you, and it costs less than $100 to have your initial consultation. Whether it's in the Midtown location, that's the OG. You can go to Cool Springs. You can go to Clarksville. You can go to Murfreesboro. 4 separate locations. One great telephone number, 615-208-9090. 615-208-9090 for our friends at the Tennessee Men's Clinic. Tell them Matt Murphy sent you to TMC. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Many of you wish to discuss Flock, and I understand it. By the way, Flock is obviously, as has been discussed on our show and many others, Flock is a brand of camera. You know, the Flock people, it's kind of funny. They had to be so excited when, their brand of camera became so synonymous with these LPR type modifications and these brand new style AI generated or AI based LPRs that we know them as Flock. I mean, that's just Flock. And that's a brand name. And I'm thinking, man, you're like Kleenex, right? Jackson, you know that Kleenex is a brand name. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Kleenex is a brand of tissues.
There are other thing, so when you ascend to that level of brand named identification, I mean, that's normally a good thing.
It's like in Nincompoops, the name Jackson.
Oh, jeez.
You can have the generics like your Ken Weavers or your Matt Murphys, but everyone just remembers Jackson.
Yeah, you're like Reynolds Wrap, which is just old aluminum foil.
Or a Coke.
Cold Coca-Cola. Cold Coca-Cola. What's that? Clorox is another one.
That's bleach.
That's just bleach, but everybody calls it Clorox, right? That's wonderful, and that's a wonderful thing until it turns on you, which is the point, Jackson. I'm glad you brought up Nincompoops. That's right. Oh, yeah. Jackson Williams, his name synonymous with victory in Nincompoops in the news. That's fine, well and good until it turns on you, Jackson.
That's right, Brother Jackson.
Mm-hmm. And turn on you, it shall, in today's edition of Nincompoops in the news.
Nincompoops in the news.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You've been listening to Ken Weaver deliver the news twice an hour, and when it breaks, you've listened to Matt Murphy opine on set same. It is time to look all across the great state of Tennessee, the volunteer state, if you will, all across these 50 United States of America.
Nay, the globe.
Nay, the globe.
Nay, the globe. We find these nincompoops, we present them to you, and you have an opportunity to vote. Ken Weaver, it is my unfortunate duty to alert you that, I guess I already told you.
Yeah,
Jackson
you told
won
me
yesterday.
Jackson won yesterday.
And so that means it's one victory this week for Ken, one victory this week for Murphy, and a victory for Jackson. Nobody likes the King of the Hill, Jackson. Time for you to take a topple.
Lots of people love that show. Hank Hill.
Let me tell you, people loved it yesterday when you weren't saying nothing. They loved it. Ken, did you get reaction back there in the newsroom? I did.
I didn't get any reaction in the newsroom.
Oh, man, I got lots of reaction, Ken. People are like, ooh, we love this Jackson not saying much. That's what they were telling me, Jackie. Jackson, you won yesterday, therefore you have an opportunity to pick the order today. Go ahead and say Jackson, Weaver, Murphy up the rear.
Oh, you did it for me. That's the order. Up yours. I mean, up the rear.
Does that mean I'm up?
No.
Okay.
You're going to go last, up the rear.
I'm bringing up the... Jackson, for the love, there are children in the car.
You ready?
There are children behind that glass running the show.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Naked man caught peering through ceiling after hiding at California Plasma Donation Center.
Yeah, that's right.
A man who wasn't wearing any clothing was arrested in Fresno, California after refusing to come out of the ceiling of a plasma donation center building where he was hiding. Fresno police said officers were called Wednesday to the Biomat USA Plasma Center at Blackstone in Dakota after reports that someone was hiding inside the building's walls or ceilings. The unsettling discovery came when a patient donating plasma looked up and saw a pair of eyes staring back from the ceiling. The donor alerted staff, who immediately called 911. Responding officers found a 30-year-old man wedged inside the ceiling, fully nude. Police said he refused to come out and resisted officers before he was eventually taken into custody. Despite repeated attempts from officers to coax the man out of his hiding place, he refused and started kicking objects at them from the ceiling. In his attempt to escape, police said the man threw appeared to be a pipe at one of the cops, who was nearly struck in the head by the object. The male kept moving around within the ceilings and walls and broke a pipe that flooded the building, police said. When he finally emerged from his hiding location, police said he had no clothes on. Officers said they deployed pepper balls on the man who said they were... They said...
What they did was pepper ball? What?
They deployed the pepper balls. You hate when they do that. On the man who they said was refusing to comply with the commands. Naked man was finally taken into custody and then to a local hospital. Other businesses in this strip mall were evacuated due to the pepper balls. During the incident, pepper spray migrated through a multi-tenant commercial building, prompting the evacuation of 41 people from several businesses.
Goodness.
You hate when they have to bring out the pepper balls. The man is facing numerous charges stemming from the incident, including felony vandalism, resisting arrest, and assault with a deadly weapon.
That's Jackson's porno name from now on.
It is unclear why he was inside the ceiling of this building.
Oh, pepper balls.
Oh, pepper balls.
Why do you think he was in the ceiling looking?
Just sprinkle some pepper on there. See if that'll get him down. Oh, that did it. He didn't like that. What are you asking me, Jackson? I'm sorry. I'm creating this scenario.
Why do you think he was up there?
Well, I don't. He was there to steal things, right? Don't you think?
But he was naked.
But he was nude.
Well, I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
Maybe he had to be nude to squeeze in.
Yeah, I was about to say, sometimes you got to take off your britches just to slide into some of those tight spots.
Ooh.
You know, you never know when you're going to be exposed to pepper balls. Pepper ball? What are pepper balls, Jackson?
It's like it's like the new pepper spray. High tech.
Oh, yeah.
It's like fancy pepper spray.
Like the difference between LPRs and flock cameras sounds like to me. That's a good one, Jackson. That's not the winner, but that's a good one. Ken Weaver, yours?
A married law partner at elite New York firm Wachtel, Lipton, Rosen, and Katz could lose out on millions after a viral video showed him kissing a young coworker in Central Park. The footage captured married 45-year-old Nathaniel Cullerton and 29-year-old associate Kelsey Boranswig making out on a park bench before being confronted by a TikTok creator who interrupts them by scolding, "Get a room! There's kids around!" They then look up in embarrassment and shield themselves from the camera. The video's been viewed nearly 6 million times on TikTok, 4 million views on Instagram. Social media users went wild for the footage, with some comparing it to the Coldplay concert cheating scandal last year.
Oh, yeah.
The timing could not be worse for Cullerton, who was reportedly preparing to join a rival powerhouse law firm and make millions more than he makes right now. According to reports, that lucrative move was withdrawn after the video spread across social media. And he was placed on leave at his current gig, and it's unknown if he's coming back. Both Cullerton and the lady he was smooching were part of the team that ripped OpenAI and beat Elon Musk's $150 billion lawsuit in a California court this year. Cullerton's married to prosecutor Moira Kim Penza, who was lead attorney on the federal case that convicted sex cult founder Keith Rainier.
That's crazy.
Just
Nincompoopery, too.
Just out there making out in public.
Yes, you can't be doing it. And you got to expect you're going to get caught. Well, they got caught, and you know what they are?
Nincompoops.
Nincompoops. I want to talk about this story. This really doesn't involve a nincompoop. I started to do this story, but I'm not. Have y'all heard the story about the dude that accidentally impaled himself with a walking stick?
Yeah.
And instead of calling the life flight helicopter on top of a mountain, he walked down while impaled.
10 miles, 6 hours.
Insane. I wanted to do that, but I thought, well, he's not really a nincompoop. I would have maybe made a different decision. But this guy is from across the pond or across some pond. I don't know if it's in England. I think it's in Grenada. Where's Grenada, y'all?
You mean Grenada?
Grenada, Grenada.
This one.
Grenada, tomato, tomato.
Where is Grenada?
I don't know, but I know this. A man has caused an explosion of his childhood home after wrongly believing he had been cut out of his will. A man set fire to his childhood home after wrongly believing he had been cut out of his father's will. He has now been jailed. Darren Davies, 55, poured petrol around his home before setting it alight, causing an explosion at the bungalow that he shared with his brother Craig in Lancashire. That's got to be the UK, right? That's the UK.
I believe so.
Lancashire, destroying decades of family memories. The incident at the property in Hambleton followed the death of their parents in 2024. Preston Crown Court heard that Davies set fire to the property March 27th of this year while gripped by the false belief that there was a secret will that he was not included in. The resulting blast sent glass, flying debris, collapsed the roof, sent a thick plume of smoke into the sky, with neighbors describing the loud bang as emergency services rushed to the scene. Miraculously, Davies, who started the blaze, he survived the explosion, emerged from the wreckage, and reportedly told a passerby, "My family want the house. If I can't have it, no one can." That's a pretty good accent.
Governor.
Right. Pip, pip, cheerio, and all that. Fish and chips. Firefighters brought the blaze under control before it could spread any further, discovering 3 gas cylinders placed in various rooms, petrol in the loft, and a candle that was used to start the fire. The court heard that the force of the blast put lives at risk. There is no information available as to whether or not there was a secret will ever. Davies, who has a long history of mental health difficulties, including bipolar disorder, depression, anxiety, was said to have suffered from a crisis at the time of the fire. His main crisis, friends, is that Mr. Davies is a nincompoop.
Yes, sir.
And that's how we play Nincompoops in the News. Exploding home due to secret will. Some dumb story about some naked guy with pepper balls, or Ken Weaver's story.
Vote for the pepper balls.
I don't think we should support pepper balls in any form or fashion. 53 after the hour. That's how we play Nincompoops in the News. You do get an opportunity to vote. I don't like you people voting early. I see you. I see you voting early, and I don't care for it. Need to listen to all those stories before you make your vote. But now you can vote. Vote early, vote often. 615-737-9986. Or you can vote on the YouTube chat. That's how we play Nincompoops in the News. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy. Let's talk health insurance. Don't go anywhere. Get back here. Get back over to your radio or your talk TV, because you need to know this. At Cover Nash, they understand health insurance better than anyone else. At Cover Nash, they don't expect you to have to take a mathematics exam to understand these things. Shane Ring at Cover Nash explains it all for you in a way that is easy to understand. If you're tired of surprise bills, fine print that bites you back on the rear end, you need to get Cover Nash on your team. Shane is your personal healthcare concierge. He will work and fight for you to get you the best deal possible. Sometimes that involves Shane restructuring your deal. Sometimes that involves Shane offering you different opportunities and different options available to you. You don't have to wait for open enrollment. You can do this right now. Make the call that all of your friends and neighbors are making the call. You should too, to Shane Ring and Cover Nash. It is real health coverage managed by you, not by the government. 615-465-0023, 465-0023, or online at covernash.com.
6 o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. Yeah, 24 westbound still shut down there at Whites Creek for the fatal crash investigation. 3 semis crashing, one of them winding up on its side and one of the drivers dying. No word on when they're going to reopen 24 westbound. No matter how you try to get around that thing, you're going to be in a major backup because everybody's got the same idea you do. Authorities responded to I-65 at North this morning after concerns were raised about a person inside a parked truck. Metro Police arrived just before 10 o'clock and they found that person dead. The truck was located near Trinity Lane along I-65 there on the shoulder. No information about the person's identity or cause of death has been released. And the father of a Georgia teenager who carried out a deadly mass shooting at his high school sentenced to 15 years in prison for providing the rifle his son used in the 2024 Appalachia mass shooting.
The sentence is far less than the 80 years requested by prosecutors. Judge Nicholas Prim acknowledged that Colin Gray was negligent in providing the rifle to his son Colt, but that he wasn't aware his son was going to use the weapon to kill 2 students and 2 teachers.
I still have to distinguish your acts from the malignant part in the acts that Colt Gray committed upon the Appalachian School.
Earlier this week, his son Colt was sentenced to life in prison without parole for carrying out the mass shooting. Peter Haralambous, ABC News.
Iran war. ABC's Karen Travers says President Trump's been hinting at larger strikes recently.
The big question now is whether the president escalates these strikes and goes to that option he was said to be considering last week of something bigger, something more like the early days of the war in late February and early March. The president ultimately decided not to do that because they wanted to see if there was a chance for diplomacy to take hold and actually move forward, and also concerns about the depleted munitions stockpiles.
Well, the Commerce Department reporting the U.S. economy grew at a slower pace during the second quarter. Gross domestic product increased at an annual rate of 1.5%, falling short of expectations. Strong consumer spending and continued investment in artificial intelligence helped offset some of the impact from higher energy prices. Economists say the latest inflation data could allow the Fed to stay patient on future rate decisions. An amazing story of survival. A man impaled while on a hiking trip gets to safety on his own. ABC's Sherry Preston.
As he was hiking Montana's highest peak earlier this month, David Cifaldi slipped and fell, noticing, in his words, something wasn't right.
Realized I had this trekking pole stuck in my side.
The pole had gone below his left arm, through his body, and was sticking out of his back. Cifaldi, who's a nurse, spotted little blood and only light pain, so he assumed he hadn't hit any major organs. After talking it over with his fellow hikers and realizing a rescue flight would be very expensive, he decided to walk 10 miles back down the mountain to the car.
It was definitely a nuisance.
His friend Jess Ross calls it amazing.
He never complained.
Cifaldi said it hurt for a few days, but he's fine now. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
That's the latest news, traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Finally, they have opened up at least one lane going westbound on 24 through Whites Creek. The westbound right lane is blocked. The right shoulder is blocked, so you can get by there on the left lane. Still very slow going, those alternate routes, trying to get around that. And then northbound 65 has been like a parking lot today. They're trying to get through the construction at Goodlettsville. Right now, they've got a disabled vehicle. The northbound entry ramp is blocked there in Madison. That's causing a lot of that. And then an off-ramp is blocked on Briley Parkway southbound over by the North Loop. Also, look for a crash Dickerson Pike at Due West Avenue in Bellshire. I'm Ken Weaver.
I don't understand what you folks don't understand about what you're doing here with the nincompoops deal. We have already created a monster, and his name is Jackson Williams. I'm surprised we haven't heard that insufferable horn.
I haven't won yet.
It's coming. I mean, you're dominating today.
Hey, wait, we have that same horn on 3HL.
Yeah, I stole it from 3HL.
Oh, did you really?
Oh, yeah. It's our breaking news / announcement horn that Jackson has since stolen from me.
Can I copyright that?
No,
no.
You.
3HL,
No,
can I put a 3HL copyright on that?
It's not like that little horn sounder didn't exist before you.
How do you know I didn't make it?
Put it up on 3HL. What do you do? What do you even do? What is he doing here?
Listen, we were having a really good discussion.
We were having a good discussion
before your show interrupted it.
That's young Joseph, who is the executive producer of 3HL, and he's here to show us what good executive producers are all about.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, Jackson's pretty good.
Yeah. You know, he has his moments.
He's winning nincompoops, I heard.
Yesterday was a good moment. Yesterday was a good day for him.
Oh, good job, Jackson. I'm proud
I
of
just
you.
pled the fifth all day.
He pled the fifth all day.
I heard he didn't get as many as he intended, but he got a lot.
Listen, in 4 hours, it was tough. I mean, I think Fauci had 6 hours. We only had 4 hours. I think you got probably.
I was on pace.
I think
you were keeping track?
You were over 50.
Beautiful.
Oh, yeah,
well in excess
easily.
of 50. So that's pretty good. So you young nerds were just talking to me about Spider-Man.
Yes, new movie out today.
Mm-hmm. And this is a live action.
Yes,
Okay.
Tom Holland, the whole thing.
And why should I care about Spider-Man?
Because it's the best superhero franchise currently being movies made for it.
It's great.
So y'all think Spider-Man is superior to Batman?
Yes. The Nolan movies are better than anything Spider-Man's ever put out, but the current Spider-Man movies are better than the current Batman movies.
I'm just old school. I like the original Tim Burton.
Okay, if you were going to pick, Batman is about the only superhero movie that can rival the Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's because these are human beings with vulnerabilities, right? They're
No, it's because they're just cool.
Oh, well, pardon me.
Yeah, you don't have to get too much into it.
Excuse
You don't
me.
have to read emotionally into it. It's just go watch it. You'll have a good time.
Well, I mean, but Peter Parker's a little nerd, right? A little nerdy guy, a little nerdy fella.
Yeah, a nerd that can pick up like 1 million pounds.
Yeah, because he got bit by a spider. You know, I would argue that Spider-Man has led to a lot of. I actually had my wife told me that her best friend had to stop her best friend's niece. Listen to this story now. This is a true story. This is like during the original, like what was the guy, Tobey Maguire? The original trilogy. That she found her little nephew, was like 4 years old, digging in the leaves in the backyard. You know what he was doing?
Finding for a spider to bite him.
He was trying to find a spider
See?
to get the spider to bite him.
I'm sure you did that when you were a kid, Joseph.
Jackson, I know Jackson did
want
that.
the power.
I did not because I have a very low pain tolerance, and I don't really care about superpowers.
With great power
enough.
comes great responsibility. That's what he said.
So you're not into the nerd stuff?
I've just never gotten into the superhero movies. I've watched some of them. I mean, I've watched most of the Batmans.
Have you seen any of the Spider-Mans with Tom Holland?
No,
you might be getting one this weekend.
I saw Tobey Maguire. I think I saw 2 of those. As a Green Goblin, that was the number 1, right? That was the first one.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that one. Was there a Silver Surfer?
That was Fantastic
Four.
Okay. That's different.
Same.
That's not the same thing.
Same like franchise is like still Marvel, but
that's all. What's his name? Stan Lee, right?
Yeah.
Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, Stan Lee. See, you just got impressed a little bit.
I'm a little bit. Jackson, Jackson's not impressed.
So you're going to see this tonight? I love how Jackson grumps about being tired in the afternoons, and he stays up all night watching movies at local theaters.
Supporting the local economy.
I am, spending local dollars for this booming Nashville economy.
Tyler just hung up because he's sick of this nonsense. Tyler, call back. I don't want to talk about Spider-Man anymore.
Talk about Spider-Man. Tell Matt Murphy why he's missing out.
So how many Spider-Man movies have there been?
There are 9 live actions.
Wow, that's a good poll.
There are 3 Tobey Maguires, 2 Andrew Garfields, and this will be the 4th Tom Holland.
Wait, Spider-Man standalones?
Yeah.
This is not including the, what is it?
The animated?
No.
The Avengers.
Avengers.
Correct. This is just standalone Spider-Man movies.
Oh, who knew?
I think without standalones, it's like 11.
Well, yeah. If you want, if you want to bring in the animated versions, the Into the Spider-Verse, which focus on Miles Morales.
All of this started. So I have no idea what we're doing right now. I've lost control of the show. It feels like a Friday because all of this started because Joseph normally pops in when 3HL ends their show day at 6 o'clock and says hello and goodbye, which is nice of Joseph. It's very, very civilized of you.
I like to say hi to y'all.
On this particular day, Joseph said hello to me and then proceeded to start yelling at Jackson, telling him that if you ruin this movie for me, I'm going to kill you. That's not what he said. I can't say what he said on the radio, folks. He said something that's even, more disturbed than that. But he's like, I'm going to destroy you if you ruin this for me. And I was like, wait, you're going to see the Odyssey? He goes, no, it's Spider-Man. And then that started this cascade of conversation.
Well, okay, so listen, I got a text from Jackson at 12:20 this afternoon. I'm posting brand new day spoilers in the chat at midnight. Have fun. I said, so our other friend.
Wait, what is that? The J chat? What is that?
The A team. It's our group chat.
That's the producer's hen circle that I talk about?
No, this is our college group chat.
From college.
Oh, okay.
So
the hen circle's a different chat?
Yeah.
Joseph, be careful.
So our other friend said, I'll kill you. Do not tell me that.
No. I love how uncomfortable you're making him right now.
I am.
That's good.
I can't show you this, but I can selectively read it. And so then he said he was going to spoil the last 30 minutes because our other friend was going right after Jackson. And I told him, I literally said this, please do not spoil it for me. I'm begging. And then I said some really unkind things to Jackson.
This is.
But yeah. That's what's
by the way, I'm getting destroyed right now in the chat for allowing all of this to go on.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm really getting destroyed.
Is it time to go back to the news?
It is kind of time to go back to the news. Joseph, I've enjoyed the conversation.
You know what?
And apparently, according to the chat, I'm the only one.
Look, sometimes you have to break away because
fair.
You know what? Life is more than what we talk about on the radio.
That is fair. More than sports.
For me, it's more than sports. For you, it's more than real world events.
100% fair. You excited about the football season getting underway?
I am.
Yeah.
You know what? I was out at Titans practice today.
Or are you now?
Yeah, it was hot.
How's Big Jeff?
Scary.
I mean, see that's my type. How's Big Jeff? He is scary.
He is a scary human
How's Cam
being.
looking? You can't say.
You can't say.
You're not allowed to. You're right. Like, what are your rules? You can't. You can go out there, but you can't talk about formations.
No formations. No, I can't say where guys were lining up. I can't. Do.
Can you do like first team, second team, that kind of thing?
Nope. I can tell you how an individual guy looked. So Cam Ward on day 1 looked okay. Day 2, defense looked a little bit better. I will tell you, Carnell Tate, Dog. First round
Is that
pick.
a good thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, Jackson?
He's a dog.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. See,
You should know. You're a Bulldogs
I know.
fan.
He's a dog. By the way, we're being told that you sound like McLovin.
Oh, thank you.
I think
Looks like McLovin.
I'm going to take that as a compliment, even though I know
I don't know
it's
that they meant it that way.
I
But,
know it's not meant it that way.
but that's all good.
Hey, Super Talk fans, enjoy Matt Murphy. He's a good one.
Thank you, Joseph. I appreciate that. 16 after the hour, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I absolutely love the detours. Keep them coming. Somebody enjoys that. Jackson isn't. Wait, no, I don't know what that means.
You don't know? I read that text. You don't know what that means?
Jackson. Oh, Jackson isn't like Pee Wee Herman, is he? No, I know what that means.
Yeah, that's.
I accidentally. This is making me want to vote Democrat. Me too. 198. Make it stop. Okay, we'll make it stop. Is it? And then this is my favorite. 4460 says, "Is Mike from Old Hickory not available?" That's high praise for you, Joseph. 16 after the hour, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I will say that on the political front, I'm very excited. If there's any race that I'm excited about coming up this coming Thursday, I'm excited about Congressional District number 5. I've expressed that while I believe Andy Ogles will vote properly in the manner in which he votes, I'm going to be voting differently in the primary, and I've been plain about that. This is not necessarily a slap into Andy Ogles' face. I just believe that Charlie Hatcher is a better representative of what I'd like to send to Washington, D.C. in the 5th Congressional District. I understand that race has tightened up considerably, although I would expect that the Donald Trump town hall and the Donald Trump endorsement will go a long way for Andy Ogles in that newly drawn 5th Congressional District. Number 6 is an interesting deal. And in number 6, we have now seen a split in the House GOP leadership in terms of support. Yesterday, Tennessee House Speaker, who is arguably the most powerful man in the state of Tennessee, at least in political circles. If you understand the dynamic between the governor's office and the General Assembly, if you understand that the governor has relatively little power to override the will of the General Assembly, if they truly want to get something done, and if you understand that the House, it's a little more difficult to herd the cats over there than it is over in the Senate, then one could argue that the Speaker of the House has the most powerful position in the state. Well, Cameron Sexton is the current Speaker of the House. And he has endorsed former U.S. Representative Van Hillary in the upcoming August 6th primary. Hillary announced Sexton's endorsement on social media earlier in the week, describing it as a, quote, major endorsement for his political campaign. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you what we'll do. I don't know that I have. I can find this for you. I gotta get by the Jackson Williams for governor stuff before I can find it. Actually, I did not post it, so I'll go post this so I can play it for you. So there's that on one side of things. Just today, House Majority Leader William Lamberth, who obviously works very closely with House Speaker Cameron Sexton, and these are grown men, they can have differences of opinion on these things and still remain friends. William Lamberth, as House Majority Leader, has supported his good friend and colleague Johnny Garrett, who was also in House leadership, which is very interesting. Johnny Garrett was the House whip designed to count up the votes, make sure you got the votes. And Cameron Sexton goes a different direction. William Lamberth decides to go with Johnny Garrett, which is frankly indicative of how the district is going. I am told that of all of the races in the Republican Party primary coming up this next Thursday, this is the closest one. It is 20 after the hour. We'll get to Alan and more of your calls coming up in a moment on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hi, friends. Matt Murphy for Timberland Cabinets. Their core mission is to deliver high-quality cabinets at affordable prices to you in Middle Tennessee, and I'm so pleased and proud to be able to talk about them. They offer solid wood and hardwood cabinetry products designed to stand the test of time, unlike these lower-quality particle board alternatives that can't handle the moisture and steady use that Tennessee brings. Friends, their core foundational principles are simple. They're going to build high-quality cabinets right here in Middle Tennessee. They provide jobs to Middle Tennessee folks. You can find these cabinets right in Columbia or in Franklin. You can schedule an appointment at either showroom. You can actually walk into the Columbia showroom, schedule an appointment for the Franklin showroom, and you'll see for yourself the incredible quality, the variety of colors and sizes and shapes, and customizable all for the kitchen, for the bathroom, or for your laundry area. TimberlandCabinets.com. Give them a call at 931-499-7170. 931-499-7170. It's our friends at Timberland Cabinets, TimberlandCabinets.com. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Thank you, Ken Weaver. Alice writes in and says, Jackson, I'm 70. I love Spider-Man. Have all of them. Most all the Marvel movies. I do think Tom is the best, but I'll wait for it to go on Fandango. Enjoy the movie. Looks good. Maybe the best. Maybe the best.
I'm excited.
That's Miss Alice writing in to you. Miss Alice is very excited. You should invite her to go with you, Jackson. Where are you going, Jackson?
A movie theater.
Which theater would that be, Jackson?
One here in town.
You want me to bring Joseph back in, starts reading some of your private text message exchanges?
He's gone.
Make you nervous, did it?
No.
You didn't like that, did you?
No. Why don't we read some of your texts?
What, my text that you send me? Okay.
No, we're good.
No, you don't want to do that. I'll tell you this. Give me a little audio video here if you don't mind, Jackson. This is absolutely insane. You know what this is from? Let me just give you a little opportunity to see some of this.
Video here, chaos
It's
at
from
the border
Fox
of
News.
Spain's North African enclave in Morocco. This is a city called Ceuta. You're watching as thousands of migrants break through the fence and completely overwhelm the border police. Their video showing huge groups of people, mostly young military-age guys, cramming into inflatable tubes or arriving on shore another way, some of them wading in the water as they break through the gates to get to the other side. Sandra, this is reminiscent of kind of what we saw during the open border during the Biden administration through 2021, 2024, kind of similar to what we saw in Del Rio back in 2021. The socialist agenda, their platform literally says they want to abolish borders, abolish immigration enforcement, have complete freedom of movement. This is what it looks like.
Just to give you a sense of what we're watching, if you're not watching on Talk TV, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Rumble, and this is from Fox News earlier today. There were North Africans overran the coast of Spain. And they did so based on the socialist policies of the new prime minister of Spain that offered open border opportunities to them. And I would suggest to you that this is what the Democrats are suggesting that they want if they were to achieve power again in the midterm elections, or God forbid, they should get into the White House and secure the Congress of the United States of America. And they're saying the quiet part out loud now, as our Democrat socialist friends have proclaimed their agenda items. I posted a video a couple of days ago. Let me see if I can find this video, where there was the head of the Democrat Socialist of America was on MS Now, maybe it was Fox News. I forget which platform that she was on. And she said, we want these things. We want open borders. We want no jails, ultimately. No, quote, mass incarceration whatsoever. Mass incarceration isn't a thing, by the way. We incarcerate people based on their individual actions. We don't incarcerate people in mass based on some group think. Here it is. This is from over the weekend. It's an absolute clown show. Let's look at this. The Democrat Socialist of America, their platform. It was Shannon Bream who had a one-on-one, a one-on-one with a woman by the name of Megan Romer, who is the co-chair of Democrat Socialist of America, the national political party. This is now a movement that is not insignificant. Listen to what they believe in.
Of your platform, and I want to ask you, just give me sort of a true or false on these. Abolish the Senate.
True.
Okay. Replace the presidency and Supreme Court as we now know them.
Yep.
Abolish ICE.
Absolutely.
Abolish borders and give amnesty to anyone currently in the U.S. illegally.
As a long-term plan, yep.
Defund the Pentagon.
Absolutely.
Abolish prisons, at least in large part.
Yeah, again, that as part of a long-term program, yeah.
Okay, so no prisons. Government or public ownership of most large corporations.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so then let's go back through some of those then. Abolish the Senate. There are people who are in the Senate now who are very supportive of DSA. They lose their seats?
Well, the Senate is
and they go on to start talking about some of these individual activities. But abolish the Senate and the presidency, yes. Abolish borders, yes. Abolish corporations and have government ownership of said corporations and businesses, yes. I mean, these are Democrat socialist platform positions, and they're scary as hell. Alan is next. What's up, Alan? How are you?
Doing all right. Hello.
Hey, Alan. What's on your mind?
Oh, somebody had mentioned McLovin about 10 minutes ago and brought up a story. We went to Hawaii last summer for a family vacation. My 14-year-old bought a McLovin ID while he was out there. It was obviously fake. We got back to the mainland, and he said, "You think this would really buy beer?" I said, "Probably not." I said, "But I'll try." So I said, "I can't go to a regular store. I got to go somewhere where the employees don't care." So I picked the local Dollar General and I'm not down anybody that works at Dollar General, but they generally don't bring in the best employees because they don't pay very much.
Mm-hmm.
I go to the beer cooler, I grab a 6-pack, walk up to the counter, I show them McLovin, and they sold it to me.
Well, I mean, McLovin was of age, right? According to that ID.
Maybe the actor was, but the kid in the movie was not supposed to be of age.
Well, I mean, I know, but that was the point of the ID, though, is that, I mean, it's such a great flick, man. Such a good movie. That's funny that they sold it to you. Did you tell them what they did after you bought it?
No, I didn't tell them. I just walked on out, man.
Was it your son, you said?
Yes.
What'd your son say?
I gave it back to him, and I said, yeah. I said, they did sell me beer. He said, for real? I said, where? Dollar General. He said, oh, those people are not very bright anyway. So
that's awesome. That's great. That's good that you did that. I have a feeling that it might go a little bit differently if your underage son tried to pull it off, though.
Probably so.
Yeah. Even at the DG. I call it the DG Lounge, Alan.
Well, but that's all I had to
say. All right, brother. Man, that's good. That's funny. It had him a McLovin ID and seemed to work. Oh, McLovin. What a great. I got to watch that movie. That's a movie we ought to watch.
I've never seen it.
Jackson.
Superbad?
You've never seen Superbad?
I've never seen it. I've seen it.
Jackson.
But I've never sat down and watched it in its entirety.
Oh, my goodness. Superbad it's something else. 32 after the hour. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Well, you know, when you visit Accurate Mortgage, you are a person, you're a neighbor, you're not just a number on a piece of paper, which is one of the reasons that I recommend Accurate Mortgage, but also so many of the real-life examples and testimonials of what they've been able to do to help people in Nashville over the years. Adam in Nashville was able to pay off all of his consumer debt, credit cards, auto loans, personal loans, and refi from 15 to 30 year. He saved $1,100 per month over what he was spending before. So now he's debt-free except for his house, and he's got an extra $1,100 in his pocket every single month. That's a loan solution that I can get behind. Whatever your situation, whatever your need, Accurate Mortgage is going to do something for you, and they're never going to advise you to do something that is not in your best financial interest. Accurate Mortgage can help you refi if you so desire. They can help you renovate your current home, or if you're looking to move into a new one. Great house prices out there. You can do it with Accurate Mortgage. Accurate Mortgage, NMLS 129944. Rates and terms subject to change. Equal housing lender. Be sure to tell them Matt Murphy, Mike, and any of the rest of the team that Matt Murphy sent you to Accurate Mortgage.
Times are tough. Absolutely, I agree. Now, if you need a new truck or a minivan, maybe an SUV, Mid-10 Ford, they can help you out with great selection, terrific pricing as well. Mid-10 Ford, they've been around for 56 years, since 1969, helping people get the vehicle that is right for them. They can help you save $1,000 or more on select Ford trucks. They also offer special financing as well if you need it. Now, Mid-10 Ford, I like to say that they're a one-stop shop. You can buy your vehicle there at Mid-10 Ford. You can get it serviced. They have a body shop as well. So you want a brand new or a pre-owned vehicle, you can check out all of the great deals at their website, mid10fordtrucks.com. That's mid10fordtrucks.com. They offer low-pressure sales, maximum customer service if you show up at their business, 1319 Foster Avenue. This is a family-owned business going back 4 generations. So, yeah, they do know how to treat customers. So let them help you get into your next vehicle. Again, low-pressure sales, maximum customer service. Find them online, mid10fordtrucks.com. That's mid10fordtrucks.com. Let their family take care of your family.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Memphis and Nashville are ranking as 2 of the 10 least safe largest cities in the United States of America. It's embarrassing, but those little blue dots are making our red state a little less safe. We have the statistics for you coming up in just a moment. I'll give you some of the metrics as well. 615-737-9986 if you'd like to get involved in the show as we wind it down. 20 minutes to go before we'll hand off to Mark Levin. Hey, it's our buddy, the seminar caller. What's up, SC?
Hey. Yeah, hey, good evening.
Yes, sir.
I haven't heard you speak about Fauci, but if you're like all the other MAGA rocket scientists out there, I can only guess what you've been saying. hey, I really like what Andy Ogle said, that we just should have let COVID run wild because the mortality rate was only 1%. I know Ogles is stupid, but is he really that stupid, or is it an act?
So let's you and I talk about Anthony Fauci for a moment, since you brought him up. Do you believe that Did you believe that Anthony Fauci lied to the American people and to the world at large as he was attempting to convince us that COVID-19's origin came from a wet market in Wuhan?
I think he deviated a bit from the truth because he wasn't sure, but no, I don't think he outright lied.
Well, his diaries indicate that he was sure. His diaries that he wrote himself said, well, we now know that the first case was in December of last year, so we know it didn't come from the wet market, but the wet market may have been a super spreader. You did not call this radio show without knowing that. I'm not implying anything. I'm stating that Anthony Fauci was a liar because he didn't want anyone to find out that the American government, even after the Obama administration, you may or may not know this, but it was under the Obama administration that we stopped gain-of-function research here in the States. And what the National Institutes of Health did is that they moved money dedicated to the NIH by Congress. They moved money around so as to continue to fund gain-of-function research. And inexplicably, seminar caller, they decided to utilize Chinese virology labs in order to do that, despite the fact that we are, obviously our adversarial relationship with the Chinese is well documented. And in doing so, they put us, our tax dollars, and the world at large at great risk by engaging in that gain-of-function research. Anthony Fauci lied about that before Congress as well.
So Trump's NIH was asleep at the wheel? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. What I'm saying is that the NIH lied to the president of the United States while they lied to the rest of us. And sadly, the president, like all of the media members told him to do, trusted the man at the head of the quote-unquote science. And it is probably one of his greatest regrets, and I think he's expressed as much. Trusting Anthony Fauci was a mistake by Donald Trump, 100%.
Well, Trump killed everyone with Operation Warp Speed, right? Trump's responsible.
Did you get vaxxed?
No, because my brother took the vaccine.
Yeah.
My brother took the vaccine. His head rolled off his shoulders. So once I saw that, I said, I'm not taking it.
So I don't believe you. I think you're a liar. I think you did get vaccinated. You're a sheep. You're going to follow the herd. You're going to do what you're told. And I think you got vaccinated. I think you're lying about that.
Why is the death rate for COVID so much higher in red states? That's a really weird coincidence.
Why is the death rate? I don't think the death rate was higher anywhere than it was in New York State assisted living facilities. Thanks to Andrew Cuomo, buddy. Yeah, and that's up in your neck of the woods, right?
Cuomo screwed up, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Why was his mortality?
Whose advice? By the way, when Cuomo screwed up, let's revisit this. Hold on, real quick. I'll let you finish. When Cuomo screwed up, whose advice was he taking?
I have no idea. Fauci?
Anthony Fauci. Yes.
Yeah.
He was in personal consultation.
Remember when Donnie said this is all going to go away by Easter, and the churches will be filled with people, and it'll be beautiful. And then a million Americans died. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't answer my question about Ogles.
So, are you? Excuse me. I don't need to answer your question about Ogles. I don't answer for Andy Ogles. Ask Andy Ogles these questions. I have no idea the answer to the question. But back to
Ogles has no money.
Ogles won't raise money. Is why you're mistaken. Do you think I'm an Ogles supporter?
I have no. I would presume so.
Yeah. You assume so. Because you like to assume a lot of things, as you call nationwide. A lot of these. I mean,
nice. Ogles is nice and stupid. That's a perfect trait for MAGA people.
Mm-hmm. So you assume that, which as you know, makes an ass out of you and me for taking the call. But back to Fauci for a minute. So did Joe Biden believe Anthony Fauci when he took over as president of the United States?
Apparently so, yeah.
Apparently so. Was that a mistake?
I don't think so.
How many COVID deaths is Joe Biden responsible for?
A lot less than Dum Donnie.
No, just how many?
It's going to go.
Just if you know so much, how many? Millions?
It's down to a very low number, and soon enough, it's going to be zero.
So Joe Biden did things right, and Donald Trump did things wrong. Mm-hmm.
Iran really wants to make a deal.
At some point, you sound so dumb. I don't think you believe what you're doing.
I'm just repeating Trump. Iran really.
No. I'm focused. I'm not focused on that clap. I'm focused on you suggesting that Joe Biden did an okay job as president of the United States during the COVID pandemic.
Certainly better than Trump did.
He called it a pandemic of the unvaccinated. Lie. He said that if you got vaccinated, that you would not get COVID. Lie. I mean, they just repeatedly lied to the American people under the Biden administration and attempted to shut this country down. Joe Biden ruined lives, ruined livelihoods, and you think it's cute. It's not cute.
Why is the death rate so much higher in stupid places like Tennessee?
Wait, you're calling from where, sir?
New Jersey, where we have much higher standards of living, education, wealth than states like Tennessee and other red states.
I'm sure it's lovely in the basement down there. Listen. Before this descends into insulting one another, I so appreciate you calling and demonstrating your stupidity for us. And tell everybody on the YouTube channel where you get 10 or 12 views per call that we said hello. That's the seminar caller, so named by me, and he now calls himself that on YouTube, which is kind of cute too. It's 48 after the hour. Super Talk 99.7 WT, and we'll wrap things up after this. Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy. Defend Systems is a life safety and security consultation firm based right here in Middle Tennessee. Expertise lies in their experience. Brink Fiddler alone has well over 2 decades of experience, and his team, I mean, that adds to the decades and decades of experience that they enjoy, and they impart that level of experience to you, your place of business, your staff, the people that you work with, or the people that you surround yourself with on a daily basis, whether it's in a school, a church, or another facility where a lot of people gather. It's all about active shooter response, workplace violence prevention, emergency and intruder action plans, rapid response medical training, all of this designed and specifically tailored to your place of business, your school, your church. That's what it's all about, is training your people to make sure they know what to do in the unlikely event that you find yourself in a negative situation like this. Hope is not a plan, folks. It's time to get trained. Let's do it with Defend Systems. Call 615-236-6484, 236-6484, or online at defendsystems.com. Tell Brink and his team that Matt Murphy sent you to Defend Systems. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Matt Murphy with Super Talk 99.7 WTN, and this morning we are out and about at my house, my brand new house that I've been talking about on the radio, with Nate from USS. What's up, brother? How are you?
I'm excellent. How about you?
I'm doing well.
Good.
We invited Nate out. Now, obviously, when you're a new homeowner, especially when you buy a house that's got a few years on it, you don't know what you're dealing with in terms of foundation. And I know that Nate knows a lot more about what I don't see and what I don't know about than I do. So bring the experts out and get them to check out your house. Hey guys, Matt Murphy again with Nate with USS, and Nate has just wrapped up kind of a look at the house. And Nate, what'd you find?
Well, your house is in pretty good shape for the age of it. I had to look pretty hard to find.
Okay.
Your house being on a slope like it is here, I think we could do a lot of good by trying to terminate your downspouts a little further from the house there.
Okay.
Roof water is the killer of foundations, and so if we can just get it to a positive grade to drain away from your house, I think that's real cheap insurance.
You want to kind of get it out and downhill.
That's right. Yeah.
That's
So
the idea.
make sure that it doesn't come right back down towards the foundation walls and causing issues, settlement or leakage.
Now, if folks are watching this video and they are like, we need to get Nate out to the house to do a look. I mean, I watched you do it. It's, 30, 45 minutes, something like that.
Yeah.
To do a comprehensive kind of an examination around the house. And they just give you a call and schedule?
Yeah, absolutely. You can call our main phone number, or you can call reach USSTN.com and schedule right through the website there. Our girls in the call center will get back to you just about immediately, as long as it's during business hours. So
this just makes a lot of sense, folks, for you guys to do an examination of your house like we've done, to check it out. I'm going to get those gutters done with Nate and his team at USS, and then we'll do a video and let you know how those look at the end of all of this. So thank you, guys.
Hey, that'd be great.
We appreciate you, brother.
Matt, we appreciate you.
We will endeavor to have Austin back on the show to try to get to the bottom of who he is and what he's all about. I would not be surprised if Austin Lee was not just a real embedded troll. But, that's perhaps me attempting to lean on the angels of my better nature and try to believe that surely no human being would believe the types of things that he purports to believe. But that is for tomorrow's broadcast. Obviously, Fry J happening tomorrow. I think we have a guest. Jack Johnson's going to stop by via telephone or in person, perhaps, around 3:30 to talk to us about his Boots and Jeans Barbecue and Beans event. Which, Jackson, I bet I could get you into if you wanted something to do on Sunday afternoon.
I'm busy Saturday afternoon.
Sunday afternoon, I said.
Oh, it's Sunday afternoon?
Oh, yeah, that's what I said. Yeah,
I thought you said Saturday.
Sunday afternoon. I think it starts at 4 o'clock at the factory in Franklin. All right, I promise you this story before we go, and you get it. This story is insane. David Cifaldi, and that's how I'm going to go with it. It's Cifaldi. Cifaldi walked over 16 kilometers to safety after accidentally impaling himself on a mountain.
Oh, the guy with the hiking stick?
Yeah. This is insane.
Dude, have you seen the picture?
I have not seen the picture of him with the hiking stick.
I saw the picture of him in the hospital with the hiking stick.
Hold on. Why can't I see it?
It's bad.
Is it? Oh, man.
It's really not like a grotesque picture, but it's just kind of like, oh.
So it's an insane case. He was hiking on Montana's highest mountain peak with friends. David Cifaldi is 32 years of age, said he was close to the summit, 12,803 feet on Granite Peak. This happened on July 20th, so it was just about 10 days ago. He was alongside two friends. He slipped and fell. So, when you're hiking at that level, you got those little hiking poles, that help your balance and help you, manage the terrain. He slipped and he fell, and when he fell on one of his two poles. He said that he immediately knew after the fall that something was not right. The pole reportedly speared him in the side below his left arm. It pushed through his lower back and narrowly missed vital organs. Amazing that he missed vital organs, but he did. Cifaldi happens to be a nurse. He's an emergency room nurse by profession. He said that he assessed the injury and realized that he had not hit vital organs. He said, through my skin, I could feel the trekking pole. I knew it wasn't that deep. I knew I could take breaths. Instead of panicking, Cifaldi said his medical training took over. He and his friends assessed the situation and decided that instead of calling an emergency helicopter rescue to come out and pick him up and get him off the mountain, that they would just hike back down. They would hike back down for 10 miles off of a frickin' mountain. And
you're coming to get me.
Well, I mean, Jackson, you and I wouldn't have been up there. Let's be honest. We wouldn't have made it. I don't think I would have made it to 12,803 feet.
You think we found a bar about mile 2 and decided to...
You know, you fellas let us know. Y'all take pictures when you get up there and send them on down here. We'd love to see them. Thank you. No. Let me keep that pole. Let's see. Navigating the rugged terrain, including snowfields, boulder fields, the group started making their way down. Cifaldi used his running vest chest strap like a sling while one of his friends walked behind him to monitor him for bleeding. Cifaldi's friend, Jess Ross, who was with him during the hike, wrote on his page, he's got a GoFundMe up, said the pole went all the way through his lat, sticking out both ends with roughly 8 inches between the two holes. Yeah. Ultimately, it took the 3 hikers more than 6 hours to reach the trailhead, where Cifaldi was then taken to the hospital before being transferred to Intermountain Health in Billings, Montana. The doctors managed to safely remove the trekking pole from his body. A couple of inches one way or the other would have been a totally different story, Cifaldi said, reporting on the accident. Despite the accident, his spirit is high as ever. He plans to return to the mountain next year to finish what he started and complete the climb to the summit. This reminds me, have you seen the story about the guy that got impaled in the head with the spear? He got impaled in the head with a spear through his eye and survived it. This is in like the 1860s. Completely different. It completely changed his personality. Apparently, he was a nice guy beforehand. He was a real jerk afterwards.
Oh, be careful.
Yeah, I almost said something different. That's on me. Hey, Jackson, will you let me know how the Spider-Man movie turns out for you?
Full throated review tomorrow before Murphy Movie Mayhem.
We're taking nominations, by the way, for Matt Murphy Movie Mayhem this week. Don't forget Movie Mayhem tomorrow in the 6 o'clock hour. Jay St. Clair, Fry J in the 4 o'clock hour. Jack Johnson in the 3 o'clock hour. Your calls all day long. Nincompoops in the news. Lots to do. Mark Levin coming up next. Until next time, for The Murphy Show, for Ken Weaver, for Jackson Williams, this is Matt Murphy speaking and saying, have a great evening.